back here? I'm just walking back. Texting. All right. Sorry, I'm just walking. Walking. No, I'm good. Joey wants to do a one-on-one with me. I mean, I'm okay with coming to a conference, but doing I told him, I said, let me check with you. Well, let me, look, if we come to do a conference, Greg, that's one thing. If we come to, I mean, that almost looks like...
I would say absolutely not.
You want to tell him that? Say, Joey,
yeah.
I was with them when you sending that text.
Is Christy up front?
Huh?
Is Christy up front?
No, I was looking at the text from him, making sure I didn't answer it.
Is Christy still here?
Shitty to him.
She's going to get that.
Okay.
He's saying he won't sign of everyone there, but no solicitation. But it's another. Why don't you come another conference would be great.
You should do that.
That's just not. That's not a. Oh, we're gonna be looking at that. No, I didn't know. You're sitting right there.
Well, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen
I got you.
He's seen it from Greg. So.
He said, sure. I said, let me check with Leo. He said, sure, no solicitation from us, and I will not be signing up anyone there. You want to intervene with a text message right now telling me you're with me?
Yeah.
Or just calling?
Yeah. We'll do it then. Let's see.
I'm with Greg asking his thoughts.
I was just trying to get past this friggin' weekend, because this is elections.
When is it? Next weekend?
This weekend coming, yeah. This weekend coming Saturday.
You're done though, huh? You had.
No, I got Darlene last up again, but I got a big vote in St. Tammany, tax vote, big tax vote. In St.
Is it the one with the
one that failed 4 times already?
Oh, okay.
No, not the casino. That's different.
Okay.
I don't recommend.
He knows I'm with you because I said I'm with Greg, asking his thoughts. I just said he's texting.
I got those two, and then I picked up Jay Banks to help him. I picked him up last week. He called and goes,
Who was he using?
I need us. He wasn't using anybody. He's like, I really think I need somebody to help me. I'm like, Jay, the race is 2 weeks away. So I did a couple of spots for him. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen on that, but so I'm going to get rid of those, and then I can focus on Ken. Bob DeFranchis wrote me too. He wanted to be with me. I said, look, let's just wait till after I get through these races, and I'll come sit down with you.
You talked to him or something about helping to pay off the debt deal, which I'm not opposed to.
He's been all over the place.
I think that's really what he really wants.
He's made several comments. He's made the comment that I got Greg where I want him because because Dominic wants to run for Attorney General, and I've got McKay and I've got Marullo, 2 judges in New Orleans, and I've got Eliana DeFranchis. He doesn't know these things. And I got Eliana DeFranchis, who's my clerk of court.
Right, sister-in-law.
Right. And he's going to need those people to win the race. Really. Stupid. But anyway, that's it.
Whatever.
Secondly, I'm going to pay Greg off the $25,000 that Christy McKinney owes him, and he's going to switch over to...
I thought Christy paid that.
She paid. So he's going to switch over to Maria. So that's the second crazy thing he does. And the third one is, I just believe it's very confident because if we can't run, then I always want to bluff that we're going to run and see if we can raise money.
He told me he just wants to pay off his debt. That you were okay with that. I think
okay.
Is that him?
Okay.
I think you had mentioned something to me that you're okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean...
You do it like that. I think that makes everybody happy right now. Look, if McKinney would go on her piece to do that, I think the problem goes away. But I mean, you know, if she doesn't, then she might have a raise. I mean, look, I've heard she's thrown her own District 4 again now.
You kidding?
No, Maria,
Maria.
that's an interesting race.
Yeah.
If that happens, that's a very interesting race.
Well, it's the only place.
I mean,
It's the only place, I pulled her against McKenna and it beat so pretty strong. The only place that was even close was at 4.
I think that's
I
why
think it was,
she's probably throwing it around.
I think McKinney was 27 in 4 and she was 22 in 4. That was where it was close. McKinney beat the whack out of her in 5 and then Maria was close also in 1. She was close in 1.
No, she's always been strong
Close in
there.
1.
No, she shifts gears to
and,
District
yeah.
4.
But that was the only place that was even close, and you know, I mean, I think it's just people that are attitudes, but Maria's just too far gone. It's like.
But they love her in
Maria,
4.
They do.
It's a
they
whole
know
different
it.
thing, and I think that's what she's starting to realize.
It's just that they think it's an age thing, and then it was like the same thing we ran into at Louis, and then when Louis ran.
Right.
You just get to the point where you look at somebody's got to the age is just too much. They just can't do it.
Right.
So yeah.
But
she looks good. Segura could be Wilmot. He doesn't beat Keith. He could beat Wilmot if he wants to run for that. It puts me in an awkward position, but I mean he'd be.
You've mentioned it. How would you handle that though now? Now that you know he beat
I'd
Wilmot.
either have to bail or break the contract. I don't know I'd have to find out legally what happens if I break the contract. I don't know what happens. I don't know what kind of. I probably have to call Litchfield and go, what kind of situation would I be in? I don't know. He beat Wilmot 29 to 21, I think. It's pretty good. Pretty decent.
And obviously that's citywide, not
Yeah,
just both of them
citywide.
living in 2.
Yeah,
Because they
citywide.
both live in 2. I didn't know.
No, but he beat him by 8 points. But he lost to Keith by 8 points. So it was just, I mean, I guess words out. It's interesting. It's a lot of chat. People know what's going on in Canada.
Oh yeah.
People talking Canada.
There's chatter all the time, man. Look.
People talking Canada.
No.
It's amazing.
I'm renting a unit today, okay, for my son because he's in the middle of moving some things. And the woman says, "So you friends with Keith Conley and Mike Segura?" I said, "Yes, I'm friends with both of them." And she said, "Well, Keith Conley's my better friend." I said, "Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm friends with both of them because I didn't know where she was going."
Right.
And she goes, "What do you think?" I said, "I think they're both my friends." I said, "They both want to be chief of police."
Yeah.
She goes, "That's uncomfortable, huh?" I said, "It's not a great spot to be in, but I mean, it is what it is." She goes, "Yeah, I've heard Segura's a pretty good guy." I said, "He is."
Yeah.
Conley's okay too. I mean, I'm like, look, I said, people have, thing is, she don't live in Canada, so it doesn't even matter. I said, people have to make the decision and go from there. And what's up, girl? I think that's what you're gonna.
Oh, yeah, because I was going to have you call Joey Lahat about something, but you didn't. I did it.
Oh, Joey.
That was what it was about, right?
Yeah, he.
Big ass head.
Don't ask Dominic what he calls him. Look, we did the conference, not the conference, the low, I guess you call it a conference for what he does. No problem.
Right.
Some attorneys complained. I'm like, well, Mike Bradner, you want to do it? Oh, yeah. He's not, this a month and a half ago, never got back in touch with me. Anyway,
Right.
now he wants to do a one-on-one with people at the Macy's fair. It's a little,
Yeah.
oh, no solicitation. So he's texting me, I'm like, I'm with Greg, I'm telling Greg, I'm going to let Greg handle this. So he told him no.
Yeah.
Another conference, another little, show and tell, whatever he does, that's okay.
Yeah, right.
He's a
To the masses, but
Open to the
then
public. When you start getting one-on-one, what are you telling him?
Right.
What is he saying back? Then
Right.
you're going to get into a cluster at that point.
Right,
And I don't want to.
No.
Look, if everybody thinks it's okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to tarnish
It
his
looks
image.
questionable,
To be
right.
honest with you, I think he'll just need to
Right.
be for right now totally. But if y'all think a conference is okay, I'm not going to be the guy to say no. It's a public building. If he wants to use a public building, he treated
Yeah.
people to lunch last time. I think he handled it the right way.
Yeah.
You get past that,
Yeah.
I think we
And
get
then
into
you're questionable.
we get into a whole different thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you buy Diet Coke and put it in the
Oh yeah, it's in the bottom of the refrigerator. You see it to the right.
Did he responded?
He said no.
Okay.
He said okay.
Okay, no, he's not
He
doing
said
it.
okay.
Okay.
He said I won't do it.
But if he wants to do it on the conference, then I'm good.
I didn't even think that was easy.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I think one's enough.
Yeah.
Joey Lahot. No, not doing another
You
conference.
wanna do
He actually wanted to do a one-on-one.
So, no.
Dominic wants to hear about what he does, so I said at City Hall he does one-on-one with people walking in. I don't.
Oh, the hurricane deal?
Yeah, I think that's. I think enough's enough.
That's enough.
But look, if he wants to use a public building, I'm good.
You've heard all of this stuff from Rigobert? I'm only showing the mayoral stuff, so I'm not going to, we could talk to him about the other reasons, but I'm only showing this stuff just to you. Do you think Ken is moving in the right direction or the wrong direction? Right direction, 50%, wrong direction, or no opinion is 52.
Okay.
Now, of that, no opinion was only like 30% of it, okay, of that 50% that was in there. So,
Oh, no opinion of
No
the wrong
opinion,
direction.
right.
Okay.
so there's part of it, but the thing is normally what you like to look at on that is you normally like to look at right direction versus no opinion and wrong
Right,
direction.
and you'd really want it more
Like,
than just
You want
2%
usually
difference
like
either way.
70-30 is what you usually
Right,
want.
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. Image of Zahn, very favorable, somewhat favorable, 46. No opinion or never heard of you, 33, amazingly enough, which is consistent across the board, by the way. It's bizarre, I mean, with everybody.
Okay.
Very somewhat unfavorable, 21, so your ratio is a 2-to-1 ratio. Glazer, 24% very favorable, somewhat favorable, 4% very, or somewhat unfavorable, 71% don't know who the hell he is. I mean,
Right.
that's
No, I got you.
horrible. 6-to-1 ratio. But the issue there for you to know about is this. When I look at races is he's got everywhere to grow. Because he's got 71% who don't know who he is. You got half of that don't know who you are. So, you know.
Right.
So that's the issue on that.
And it was just
situation.
it's a straightforward question.
That was image of Glazer, favorability.
Like,
of
what do you
Glazer.
think your image of Mike Glazer? What do you think
Yeah.
your image?
We
What is your
did-
image
we
of
did-
Mike Yenny?
We did. Please tell us.
Mike
Please
Glazer
tell us
and
your
Zahn.
image, whether you think that you have a very or somewhat favorable.
I got you.
Not somewhat favorable of the following people.
Got you.
And then we
Okay.
went through everybody. We went
Got
through
you.
Mike Segura. We went through.
Because I never got this poll.
Yeah. Yeah. But Brendan got it. And
Oh, a few more people got
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, it's amazing. All right. Esplanade preference. This surprised me. 45% would like to keep it shopping in some kind of way.
Okay.
30% would like to see it as condos, and 16% think it's fine if it's government. I was surprised that many
Yeah.
people still want to keep it
Well,
shopping.
they don't want to have to drive to Lakeside, right? I
Yeah.
mean, they want to do
But
it in their own
that's
backyard.
amazing, right?
You want to keep it as shopping, just not shop there.
It
Right.
is, yeah.
Well, they want to
This is-
shop there and have Lakeside stores.
There's two things that are absolutely been glorious for you.
Garbage.
Is garbage and Ida.
Really. I'm surprised about Ida. I mean, look, I think we did a good job for Ida, but I thought people would beat us up on it wasn't quick enough.
So the question here was, do you agree or do you agree or somewhat agree with the fact that Ramelli was the better one, Ivy Waste was the better one, or do you not have an opinion? Ramelli was 13%, Ivy Waste 62%, and same or no opinion for among garbage just picked up, I don't give a shit, 31%. That's surprising. That's a big number.
That's the 31% is the people that just put the garbage out and just,
Okay.
I don't care if it gets picked up or not.
And those 31 probably aren't voters.
Right.
They probably
No, I get
count,
you.
Right.
Look,
Although this was done with voters,
People-
but it's, you know.
people may not like him, but he does a great job. I mean, his garbage collection is done. It's over with.
All right, so this number, even though 21% say you did a very poor or somewhat poor job in Ida recovery, that, by the way, is consistent with what I've seen in every other place, whether it's St.
Okay.
John, whether it's Jefferson, you know, people are just aggravated because stuff
Right.
is still not picked up or whatever, or this is that happened, so they're still aggravated. But your number on good, very good, 37% is really, really a good number, and an okay job is 30. So you really got 67% of people thought you handled it adequately, or you know, so you got a good. That was a good one.
And that's across the board question?
Across the board. Yeah.
Ida recovery,
Yeah.
not like Ida recovery on debris, Ida
The
recovery
question
on
there
putting
was,
city
no,
government back to
across
place.
the board. It was, the question was, is do you think the Zahn administration did a very good
Gotcha.
or somewhat good job with
Gotcha.
recovery, very poor,
Okay.
somewhat poor with recovery, or
Right.
just an okay job?
But nothing specific.
All right, here's the problem with that. Re-elect you?
Mm-hmm.
36% absolutely, 36 absolutely not.
Okay.
That's a problem.
No, that ain't good.
That's our challenge.
Wait, what's the last? I didn't see the last
Liz,
one.
don't know. So
Okay.
we're playing for 28%. We're
Right,
playing for that
right.
right there, right?
Right.
Now, here's the good part, is when you take the leaners
What is
and you put them in, you take the 28% that don't know, then we asked the question to them, we said, who would you lean towards? Zahn
Okay.
or somebody else?
Gotcha.
And the leaners go Zahn 53 to 47.
Okay.
But that's a lot, that's pretty close to comfort for me, I gotta tell
Well,
you.
especially when you
Okay?
add in the other part.
Yeah. So the problem with that is that when you get to that situation there, you say, okay, well, if somebody else is able to run a real campaign, we got real money to run a real campaign, we got a challenge ahead.
Mhm.
So,
And the other numbers were 36, 36 heads up,
36.
and 28% that you'd have to
yeah.
at least. You need that 28%.
Yeah.
You can't even take
Well,
half of it.
well, the problem is,
The problem is,
you can take half of it.
the problem is statistically speaking, if you extrapolate the undecideds along the same proportion as the
Right.
decideds.
They could go the other way too.
Yeah.
I got it.
Well, and that's why, and we only only really used Glazer in a head-to-head with you.
Okay.
That was it, because he was the one who said he was going to do it.
Right.
And that's why we did the ratio thing that was there. And that comes out same thing, dead even kind of situation, right? So, which is what
Right,
you're expecting
okay.
there, right? But we then said, we did another one, we said something, we said, well, if Glazer didn't run, well, who would you like to see run? And really, the only one I want to see run is him. We put Stokes in, we put the judge in, Santani. We put, what's his face in, we put...
Yanni. You put Yanni, right?
We put Yanni. But Yanni was never on it, but yeah. We put, what was the fourth one we put in?
But how does that lay out? Like, Impostata this, Yenny this.
The rigorous
judge.
message was if Dominic ran, Dominic would win, the race would be over. His message was that Glazer gives you a real race, although Glazer, with such a high unknown, leaves it up for us to basically define him. So that's an issue on there. That's where the Chiefs race becomes dicey for us, because on one hand we're going to have to use him in that race, and then if he's trying to run, it's really becomes awkward.
Yeah, he's done that, not me.
Right. I
I
know.
mean,
yeah.
everything that y'all have asked me to do with the Chiefs race is what Glazer's done now.
No, I know.
Glazer got into my race while y'all asked me to stay out of a Chiefs race or go with a certain candidate.
but
That's yours. So it's kind of, and look.
Stokes didn't show anything of any
Really?
kind of substance. Stokes was another one where the unknown was really high, and Santani, the unknown, was really high, and so he's the best known in the city right now. You're the second best known in the city, like by points.
Mm-hmm.
And then and Yenny's the third best known,
No, I'm sure.
but it's a drop off after that.
Right.
I mean, it's like a cliff. It's just like, it's like,
Right.
you guys are known by 60, 70% of the people, pretty much. 30% don't know you, that kind of thing. But then after that,
It drops off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they get, Julie Stokes goes away to Baton Rouge. Kevin Santani is
Yeah.
popular, but it's, he doesn't put up stuff.
But he and I were looking to see, okay, where do we really stand right now? What's really the,
Is that it?
that's it, yeah.
That was it?
On yours. We did Wilmot and Segura, like I said, Segura beats Wilmot. We did Conley and Segura. Conley beats Segura today. That's just stupid. I mean, Segura's pissing to the wind. You see how the old timers don't make a difference.
How do you keep delivering
Right.
that message, though? You've spoken to
I'll
him,
sit
you
down
told
with
me.
him too, but it doesn't matter.
I've told him,
I think
look,
he's
he
running
knows
that.
this.
I
If
think
he was
he's
sitting
running.
here, I'd say, again, in front of him, like I've said to his face, selfishly stay on the council.
Yeah.
Selfishly for me. Please
Yeah,
stay on the
he can
council.
make that race. He can win that
I can't, there's nothing I can do with
we
that, guys.
did Christie and Maria. Christie beats Maria handily. We did some things on the crime side. How safe do you feel? People very safe. People feel very safe, like extremely safe. We did what do you think about police response time? Things like that. They love the police
absolutely.
department. We'll have the police department. So we did that. I think we had 30. We had 30 questions. We did everybody. We did everybody on the council on favorability. The stupid part with that is you really can only really look at it inside the district.
Are they okay?
Yeah, but nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows. See, I mean, they know who they are in their district. Braddock is the best, obviously.
Well, he's always,
Which you
he
expect,
does a good
right?
Facebook
Yeah.
page, post.
So,
I mean, he's always doing stuff.
Braddock's
He's
the
out
best.
there.
Brendan's actually second best in his district.
That's good.
And then nobody has any clue who the other ones are.
Right.
They just don't, you know? Like, they don't even know Segura in his district that much. Segura's strength is actually that he was actually mayor for a little while, I
Right.
think. And probably you taking him around everywhere, that's probably been his saving grace. Otherwise, his numbers would be
Right.
in the toilet. I mean, really bad. I don't know, you know, I don't know. And then if you think about the Sun running, I mean, he's like,
But who's going to run there?
he's completely
That's-
screwing that thing up.
It's
See, I think if Segura jumps over to the Wilmot race, Wilmot then decides to jump down. That's what I think happens. And
that would have to come from you at this point,
and I
right?
think Segura gets a walk in. But you know, I've talked.
He's
to
told
him,
me, you told
and
him.
I've talked to him 2 or 3 times.
You're with him with the other at large. That's what he told me.
I sat and had breakfast with him about, I don't know, I called you right
Like
now.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago, somewhere in that
Right.
neighborhood. And my message was exactly this. I said, look, it's no mystery. I said, I told you where Caraway and Glazer went. I said, the 4 of us sat down at Fausto's and all agreed this is how it was going to be. I said, now I guess, Mike, you assumed everybody was going to be with you.
Right.
And I guess Conley assumed the same thing. I said, well, it seems like he was right. And I said, so I'm with Keith 100%. I said, there's a fundraiser coming up in 2 weeks. It's at my house. I said, I'm balls to the wall for him. And I said, it's not a slight to you. You're my friend. You're my ally. You run at large. I said, we'll move whatever mountain it takes.
He told me
It's
that.
a done deal. I said,
That's what he told me.
that's not. And he got Segura-esque. He got pissy. And
But he came back later and said, look, this is what he told me. Because look, I didn't know you would meet me. He didn't tell me that. He just said, this is what he told me. He goes, I kind of get it. He goes, I just want to be chief. I'm like, well, Mike, look, that's a decision you have to make.
well, his verbiage to me was as such. First, he says, I will not be bullied out of this race.
He told me
I
that.
will not be intimidated out of this race. And my response was, well, Mike, first of all, I give you a lot more respect than to ever try and intimidate you. Second of all, Mike, please understand, if I were trying to intimidate you, you'd know. I said,
Right.
this ain't it.
Right.
But then the other thing he told me, he got into a lengthy discussion about his pay.
Pay is a problem.
Well,
I've told y'all that.
but it's an irrelevant problem. What is puzzling to me,
There's a big difference between at large and chief of police.
but-
I think
well,
pay.
I'm pretty sure that we all ran for public service, not for employment. And his reasoning to me was, why would I run at large? I said, I don't know, serve the city. Last time I checked, isn't that the point? And
Right, but if there was an issue with the pay, nobody would have years ago did the ordinance to increase the pay, which does attract better candidates.
well, it does, but the idea wasn't to attract people to
I understand.
just run for something because they need
I
the
understand.
compensation. That's not, in fact,
But it
that's
attracts you.
actually, in fact, that's the argument against raising the pay. Is you don't
Right.
want people who are doing it for the job.
Right.
So anyway,
But it does attract a better quality person. I mean, you have an attorney
in theory,
who's going to run for chief of police who could make a lot more money in the private sector, but he's a more qualified. He is a qualified person. You have Segura who's qualified. They both want to run for it. It's
Yeah.
You're not getting what you used to get for chief of police, right? I mean,
I guess.
the candidates that
I guess.
him and I have lived through.
but the point
You
is,
too. You've lived in
he,
Canada.
he anyway, his verbiage was very much along those lines. And I just said, look, I said, the offer's on the table. Well, what did he do a week later? He decided to run billboards.
Oh, I think
Which-
he's right. I mean,
Which, I'm not stupid. I didn't take that as, oh, well, I guess I just got to get my campaign started. That was let me send a message and
unless they don't plan it already. I
let him go.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not going to work.
I get it, but I mean,
You
he's
know?
got
Well, let's not talk about Segura.
No, I got you.
Let's talk about you. I wanted to get this meeting together and talk to Dominic, because after I saw the numbers, I now know what I gotta deal with on this. I'm with you.
No, no,
Said
you made that clear.
There, okay. Told everybody that. That's good. Regardless how tough it is, regardless how easy it is, that's the case. But it's tough. We've got a tough one here. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not thrilled about the idea that Glazer's a candidate either, because it really, personally, it angers me. Because he's never showed any interest in anything, and all of a sudden he's interested, which is kind of his little pissing thing with you. But it doesn't do us any good for like what we've been trying to accomplish. But regardless of who it is, when we run into a race where half of the people are saying I'm there, and half of the people are saying I'm against him no matter what, and we haven't even hit the critical part of the race where people start throwing the shit.
No, they started.
Well, I mean, really, like,
Oh, yeah,
media-wise.
they started,
doing it,
well,
right?
they started pretty well, media-wise.
Well, no, but, yeah, you're right, but that's true, but I mean, I'm talking about mailers and TV spots. And,
No, it's in those articles are going to be nailed as
it's
TV
like, holy
spots.
shit, you know, this is, we got a lot to do. And what I said to him was, I said, I can't win this race without him. I mean, knowing where things are right now. And so, I mean, I'm putting a lot on his shoulders, I get it. We've been down that road before.
Hold on, there's a Donnie McMinn thing. Hey, just give him what he needs. I know I'm in a meeting with Dominic. I can't get out right now, but just give him what he needs. Yes. Thank you. All right, bye. Some kind of golf tournament next Tuesday or something.
This is similar to me, like when Yenny got into his ass into a crack, and I was sitting down with you on the letter and saying, you know, Ben's got to control the letter here from this point, and Ben's got to get everybody else to go with the letter, because everybody else wants to say he went behind the fence with a 17-year-old. We're gonna couch the message with, you got a lot on your mind and you can't really focus on government right now. That's why they're asking you. They're not asking you because they're condemning you. They're asking you because you got a lot to do and you can't focus on the city. And I needed you back then. And this time I need him to win the race. And so when we talked, he and I talked just candidly, just so you know, he and I talked at length. And he's expressed a whole bunch of things he's uncomfortable and concerned about, and we've gone through that, and I can't disagree with him on any of them. And I said, we got to all meet. It's got to be just the three of us. It's got to be a brotherhood here. It's got to be, let's figure this out. Let's find out how committed Ben is. First of all, that's got to be a big factor in all this too. B, where do we really stand with any of this hearsay shit that's out there that all of us are wondering about what's going on the investigation side and all that stuff. You know, see what's happening with all the civil lawsuit stuff. I mean, we're hearing all sorts of bullshit on that about you not necessarily having been prepped, I guess, well enough to the point that when you went in there, you said things several times that were not consistent with what you were saying before and stuff. So they feel like they got you on perjury issues.
You would depose?
You know.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
So I was telling you,
it was a consistent message when I went in.
So, but I mean, anyway, so, you know, I'm like, I don't know how much more I can, I gotta be fair with everybody here and just tell everybody, I don't know how much I can sustain given where we are right now.
No, I understand.
What do we turn things around with?
Look, let me get the perjury thing straight. That's the latest accusation, I guess. I mean, you can only perjure yourself if you're obviously lying, right? So, I mean, my story because I've never really done anything before this, when I was deposed, is the story that happened. Did they want to trap me on things, showing me things?
They're saying there's inconsistencies in the way you say things, which is what attorneys do.
I mean, that's the job of an attorney.
So,
that's what an attorney does.
They're going to use those against you in a campaign, is basically.
Well, of course. Look, the whole deposition will be used in a campaign. You know that.
So that's
a lot of it stems from Ramelli. I mean,
it's all rebellion.
Right. Look, I get it. He's pissed. I mean,
right. So anyway,
but you know who's not pissed? Obviously, the 60-something% of the people that love IV.
No, that's what I said. That's what I said to you.
You know, that's
the garbage thing in Ida was that's your saving grace.
Well,
I'm surprised about Ida, but I'm not about
garbage. The only concern I would have about the garbage is that all presupposes no shoe drops on the Ramelli thing.
Such as?
He wins.
He wins something, or some major ruling comes out in Ramelli's favor, which odds of the thing being over in the
is
next
that?
6 months is
But that doesn't
seems
change,
unlikely.
that's a political thing, it doesn't change your garbage collection on the street.
No,
So-
I understand, but what I mean is in terms of, was it a good idea to move? If
Yeah.
God forbid there's a judgment for 15 million against the city,
Yeah, then it's.
what does that do to that
Oh,
62%?
they flip, yeah, they flip. They say my
That's my
garbage is good, but the mayor's an idiot.
But I didn't realize, yeah, I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, they're still happy with Sidney because he's a god. He's really
a marketing genius.
He's a marketing
Oh, he
god,
is.
so, yeah.
He knows how to get his message across.
But then they're like, but geez, I can't believe they put us in this position, you know?
That's what I'm.
The thing is that the unknowns moving forward for 6 months forward now, because we've got a long way to go, is there's too much conjecture to determine at that point. We can only work with what we have as a known. And the known factor is we have a strong commitment against you, a strong commitment for you. Very unusual.
What, even commitment?
Yeah, because normally
Right.
you want to be.
No, I'm not saying that's a good thing, I'm just saying it's an even commitment,
Normally
you
we
don't,
look for a candidate, I think a candidate's in trouble a lot of times when he's 55, 45.
right, no, I got you.
Not 50-50. I mean, we usually think, oh my God.
Look, no excuses, but it's been a tough 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'll tell you this privately, one I told him, COVID, I keep calling it Isaac, it's not Zeta, COVID again, Ida. Ida obviously wasn't a problem. I'm kind of shocked that it wasn't a problem, to be honest with you. I think we did a good job, but we always think we did a good job. Any elected official and something like that. But it's been a tough 2 years where I don't think the people have seen this. They didn't see us, here we are, we don't drop, but we don't go up, we stay consistent. So at staying consistent, they want to see more progress.
So,
I think that's what's
I
resulting
think
in
your
some of those
savior on
numbers.
Ida is New Orleans. Is the new.
Probably so, right.
You're in the New
I agree.
Orleans TV market.
Right,
And what I'm seeing versus let's just take Baton Rouge, for example.
right,
Baton Rouge, I don't think they did a good job cleaning things up, but then they don't see what happens
Right.
in New Orleans. So, but everybody in the New Orleans market's getting about the same, St. Tammany, you.
we didn't lie to them,
Blackman.
Greg.
Everybody's
We-
getting kind of the same marks.
We literally told our council in, 7 at a time, or probably 6 at a time, because one never shows up. 6 at a time, we tell them it'll take 60 days, maybe 2.5 months. Within 60 days, the majority was picked up. We're picking up little pockets here and there. You've seen the big rush lately on it.
Look, I've told you.
It's been, I think we kept our word to them. We kept our word to the council too.
I told you and the whole council all
You did.
together.
We've quoted you on that.
Personally, I felt like Kenner's was. I told him 2 days after the storm.
Yeah,
I felt
you
like
did.
I'm like, look, I gotta be honest. I think
We had our shit
Ben
together.
and Company are gonna come out looking a lot better than we will.
And we've quoted you.
at the parish.
We've quoted you at public meetings. We're like, our parish councilman has said, we're good. So we're good. You know what I mean? Look, and I said, look, the parish councilman, I didn't say you, because I didn't want to, throw you into it. I said, the parish councilman sees a lot. He sees a lot. He sees the parish, right? So that could be anybody. But no, I get it. I get it. I'm just a little surprised on the Ida thing because you don't know if it resonates with people.
Dominic's our 500-pound gorilla right now. As we look at political weapons, Dominic's our political weapon. If Dominic were to say anything to anybody, except for Segura, I guess, then I'm not going to be with you.
Not persuasive. of him.
I'm going to, in fact, I'm going to be against you. They'd probably be like, I don't want to deal with that right now. You'll be back to that once the race is over. If you win, you'll be back to that. But right now, you're to at least the rest of the players out there, you're a little bit on bended knee. You got a race coming up. Everybody's hearing chatter that the poll shows. It's funny, the reason I went ahead and moved forward with the poll and finally did it and cut it way back to what I originally had is because I just had heard so much news from so many people outside of government saying, hey, I understand Zahn's in trouble, like what's going on up there? I was like, what the fuck? It's crazy. I mean.
But you
so-
and I have had that conversation
Yeah.
numerous times.
And
I've proven that that's all bullshit.
yeah,
but I can't-
but I mean, it was enough for me to try to figure out what was going
No,
on.
look, I get it.
And-
You had to do what
and
you had to do, but
obviously
you
there's-
know,
and-
you
and
know, as
obviously
my
there's some-
friend Greg Buson, it's
Yeah.
all bullshit.
But and obviously there's some smoke to there's some fire
No,
to the smoke.
look,
I mean,
it spreads.
right.
It spreads, right? So if it
right,
spreads,
enough
it
people
spreads.
talk about it, people start going, well, there must be something wrong, and that's what ultimately what happens on it. And so, so yes, that's where we are. And I mean, Dominic and I talked, and look, I'm done. It's your
Yeah, I
game from
mean,
here on.
well, unfortunately, Ben, the problem I got is, we talked a few weeks ago, and honestly, a trail of shit just continues to evolve. It's causing me problems. I told you the glazer mess needed to be massaged. That's gone way sideways. And God knows Glazer's my ally and friend too. I don't like that. The day we talked, then, I don't know, through actually your version of your conversation with Debbie and hers are identical. Your version of Jason's conversation was both are identical.
I don't lie.
I didn't say you would.
No, I'm just saying, I
But-
don't lie.
but-
I mean, I'm
Well,
going to tell the
but
truth.
the problem is, Ben, rather than smoothing things over, fucking turpentine gets thrown on the fire.
From me?
Yeah.
On, what have I done now?
Okay. Well.
Oh, I don't know what I've
you
done,
and I
Jason,
talked,
you or
and I
Debbie.
said, well, you called me and said, what's going on out there? And I said, dude, I'm with you. I'm not going anywhere.
Mhm.
And I said, you got to patch this thing up with Glazer and do it quick. Okay.
And I told him to do a meeting with the four of us.
Well, that's fine, but Ben, that is
No, he asked for it, and I said yes.
so. And I told you, you talk to Debbie. Here's what how I think it's going to go. Her response to me then is, or that she's asked, who are you better friends with, me or Glazer?
I asked that?
Yeah.
No. She said, I'm better friends with Glaze. I've known him longer. I said, okay. Probably not true, but that's all right. Okay.
No, you asked her to pick. You told me that.
Asked her to pick? I asked her, are you with the incumbent? Absolutely.
Okay. So my point is, that day, a series of phone calls are made that did nothing to repair any of that. Okay?
I called Jason.
Right.
Okay.
And did something very similar.
Just asked him if he was with me. Jason did respond to me that Monday, and I said, anytime. He said, let's meet. I said, anytime. So I was still waiting for Jason to respond. So I have followed up. Or he followed up, and I said, yes, anytime.
Let me be more broad.
Okay?
And your tact is however you decide to handle your race, not mine. We talked, and I said, look, and apparently my gut was not far off. Here we are in a situation where you're in trouble, potential trouble. And rather than going outward to bring our people into the fold, to make them want to get on board with us, you're continuing to drive the wedges. And that's a fucking problem,
Okay,
man.
I'm just trying to figure what I've done because Debbie told me if Glazer runs, I'm with Glazer. That was before Glazer announced. She's already made a decision. What do you want me to do with Debbie? She's already told me that. She told me that conversation. I told you that. Jason said, I'd like to talk. Jason never said he was with Glazer. Jason
And
said,
you were
I'd like to
pissed that
talk.
he said I needed to talk to you.
Of course I'm pissed.
Why?
Well, why were you pissed every time we took you around and people weren't with you?
I wasn't pissed when people said I needed to talk to you.
Okay, well, I mean, look, we're not the same person, Dominic, so I handle it
I
differently.
understand. I'm just telling you, Ben, I'm the last of the Mohicans, dude.
I get
I'm
it.
the last
Look,
one on fucking board.
I get it.
And I can't keep. I feel like I'm fucking straightening the tablecloths on the Titanic.
Look, I was there.
You know?
I remember that. I was the one on board. I remember that very, very clearly, Dominic. Everybody did not want to be with Dominic Visada. Who's this guy you're bringing off the Kansas City Council? I remember that very clearly. And I stuck my ass out there not knowing if you could win.
Which is the only reason I'm still here.
Look, I'm just saying, this is a two-way thing. I mean, if you're
It's
going to...
absolutely a two-way street. Here's the
Absolutely.
difference, though. I didn't make shit harder as we went.
Okay, well,
I didn't make shit harder as we went.
you weren't the incumbent.
what's that got to do with it?
No, I mean, it's just been
You're a
different
guy
for
whose
everybody
name's
else.
gonna be on the ballot, dude.
Right, absolutely. But look,
It's apples to apples.
Debbie was clear. Jason, I'm still waiting for, let's get it set up, Jason, but I think that's probably,
But-
what you're telling me, it might
But are
be too
you
late.
running, or is he?
Who?
No.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
My point is, and it's not just them.
Well, I think,
It's across the board. Then, and this is why I sent the text Friday. And this is what.
and I do apologize, I thought I hit send.
That's all right.
I saw it this morning, I didn't,
That's
that's
all
why I'm
right. I
like, what
appreciate you
happened?
reaching back. But the reason I sent it had nothing, honestly, I didn't even necessarily realize we were going to go through this. But, and this is where I'm concerned. And this is a potential problem. I'm beating the streets hard for Conley. He's the best for us. Not just as our chief of police for the department. Because rest assured, I would not want to be mayor when we have 40 policemen put in applications at other departments because Segura won. I wouldn't want to be that. But for our base, our team, what's little left of it. So as I'm calling vendors and I'm told that you're helping Segura.
What have I done for Segura? I put my name on a fundraiser, and y'all asked me after, where are we? After September 1st, he asked me, don't do anything else. I haven't done anything else.
I'm telling you, I was told as recently as Friday.
Okay, well,
That, and here's the other thing. This has got me concerned. Why would Deborah Foshee be looking for Keith Conley's personnel file in the city county records?
I have no idea. I mean, tell me that she is.
She is.
Okay? Then I'll address that this afternoon.
You can imagine how that sounds to me.
No, absolutely.
That makes it almost inconceivable for me to believe that she would do that. Either A, without absolutely doing what she can to help Segura, trying to find, which, good news is,
Right.
there ain't nothing there. But B, without your direction.
I'll have you an answer this afternoon, first thing in the morning.
You should have an answer, you should fire the bitch.
Well, I mean, I have to make sure what's going
But Ben,
on. Where's that coming
why
from?
would she do that?
Well, I don't know where it's coming from.
I understand, but Ben, you see what we're saying here. You know what if we were back in the shoe was on the other foot, and we were back in Jefferson Parish, and this kind of shit happened, you would be calling someone's ass to be handed to.
Yeah, absolutely.
How could someone convince me that's not consistent with everything we're being told? I'm telling you, I got told by a vendor Friday
Okay.
that said he was told last week, you have balls to the wall with Segura for chief of police.
And I get it.
All right.
Listen,
I mean,
let's just be
right.
straight. We have to be straight in this thing.
Right.
I get that you pissed off with certain people and you're a little hurt, and I also get that you're a little paranoid about who's with you and who's not with you. I understand that.
Look,
I understand.
You've told me sitting
Okay.
right here that nobody's with me.
Right.
You've told me that
But-
already.
but
I mean,
the-
it's
but the-
it's
but
almost
the-
incredible.
Yeah.
Because I've been there every time.
Yeah.
That's almost incredible. But
I don't
it's
know.
not a matter of
But-
hurt. It's a matter of loyalty.
It's been people run from a fire like there's no tomorrow.
God, look, obviously,
And I've
but I
seen
don't.
it. And here's the issue.
But I don't.
I've done, you gotta remember where I'm coming from. I come from this dispassionate because I've done 400 campaigns. So I've seen this
Right.
over and over
I-
again.
look,
I've seen the Jimmy Fitzmars of the world.
Look, I get
People
it.
who people had their kids
Totally.
named after him. People had him as their godfather.
Right.
And the second he lost for governor, they were like, okay, fuck him.
Right.
That was
I get it. No, look,
it's this,
I'm too old to worry about it anymore,
You guys
right.
have chose a shit
Absolutely.
business
You-
that's a very cold business, and I'm a maestro in it. There's no question. My job is to try to keep the concert going, no matter
Right.
what. How it goes. Oh,
Right.
we lost a tuba player. Okay, let's see if we can
Right.
get someone in over here to play
Right.
tuba. That's my job.
Look,
And I
I've
see
seen
it
this
like
coming
that.
for a long time. You know I'm the first one that's come to you how many times and said, put a meeting together, put a meeting
I
together. You
understand,
never did
but the-
that.
but
You
the- but
put a meeting together with
the-
Caraway.
okay,
And look, that's
man,
not you. He don't want to meet. But I can't solve the problems that Dominic's talking about if people don't want to meet.
Yeah,
Look, Jason wants to meet, that's fine.
Maybe
I mean-
that's true, but what he's saying and what I'm saying too is we can't sustain anymore. We just can't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can't sustain another letter going out against even the shit against Brannigan. I mean, I get it. That Brannigan thing is bizarre.
Brannigan
but you
is a
should've
liar with what
But
he
you should have
did.
just kept it quiet. Why?
I went to Brannigan. I didn't make it public. I went to Brannigan.
The
I didn't do that. I went to
The
Brannigan.
letter that you put up to the whole staff, the whole.
After Brannigan accuses me of searching his emails, absolutely.
But politically, you should be calling me about that. My message to you would have been, Ben, I know you're mad. I know you what's name. No matter how mad you are, what's the name. The last thing we need is for this to become a news story. Just let it die. He's gonna let him. People are gonna make all kinds of allegations between. If you try to answer every allegation that's gonna be made against you between now and the time we hit March, what's it? We can't win. We can't win.
Here's my challenge, Ben, is I won't take, and this is a fault of mine, I won't take anything in a vacuum. I can't take anything as isolated. And I look for the correlation between each of those things. So I've said that. Pitfield. What's with the Pitfield thing?
I mean, he has an
The
interest to
campaign
do.
signs.
He has an interest to do something. I mean,
In what?
I don't know. I
He
don't
hasn't
know.
talked to you about it.
No, I've talked to him. He has an interest to do something. Look, you've known how long he wanted to do something.
I understand.
You know,
But
he.
but, okay.
That's another problem I solved.
Well, you did,
Right.
in a way.
Oh,
Okay? But, so now what? Here's my question. And if we're a team,
I don't know if we're a team. I'm waiting to hear what you're going to tell me what you're going to do in March or in
I
January.
told you he's with you.
I never said I wasn't
Okay,
gonna be
I
with
don't.
you.
I thought
But
he was.
here's the
I don't know where he was
problems I'm
going with
having.
it.
But here's the, but what I'm getting at is,
You want me to
in
stop?
response
We're trying to figure out
to,
how to win.
in
Right, that's the
response
point.
to me telling you 3 weeks ago, or however long ago that was, I'm with you, which I said unequivocally.
No, you have.
Then I got Pitfield running for something, and I know damn good and well, if I know Ben Zahn, he didn't do it without your permission,
No.
authorization, and in all likelihood direction. So I got a guy, and I'm looking around and I'm looking at the musical chairs and going, well, I got my friend Ben running for mayor, so theoretically he's going to be out of every other race, at least so he says. So Pitfield's running against somebody that I'm supporting.
Well, and worse,
Maybe not now.
and worse, and worse.
Maybe not now. I don't
And
look,
worse than
Dominic.
that.
At some point, I have to play some politics with everybody too. Everybody continues, and I'm not directing this to you. You're the one with me, but I got other people that aren't with me that should be with me.
So listen to the position you now put me in. So I get a phone call from Brian Brennan.
Brendan was told that night, don't worry about anything.
So what?
Well-
That's bad form. Okay? McKinney. Okay? Wilmot, not that I worry about him. Kindly. What a slap in his face. So if this is how we're playing it, that
Well,
starts.
I don't know how they're playing it. You know, I gotta sit through things at council meetings where I'm accused of all these
The
wrongdoings
thing is that
are consistent.
I should be the one guiding
but
the
I'm-
politics on that, and yet your guy, we can't have two campaigns. We can't have the campaign that I decide to run for you and the strategy we need to do, and then you and Deborah Foshee have another strategy. If that's the case, then just tell me right now, let's Jeff's contract, let's move on. I'm just being straight with you, because I don't want to deal with that. I don't ever want to deal with a campaign where all of a sudden I find out that, you know, some asshole is hired and they put out some shit sheets over here that I didn't know about. I mean, I've done this for 30 years and I've stayed totally clean in all of it in 30 years, running 400 some campaigns. I mean, it's so I don't need to have, like, I've seen this circus before. I don't need to have someone who thinks that they're like, all of a sudden they're a political consultant like Deborah, and here's what we should do, here's what we should do. Let's sneak things up. And then here's the other thing, Ben. You got so many fucking moles inside that place. Honestly, I swear to God, they would call it Swiss cheese hall, okay? Not city hall.
I got you.
And if you think that there's nothing that he and I are not hearing on a regular basis, he and I are talking almost every other day when I'm calling him when it's something that he heard or I heard. And just go, what's going on before we can sit down with you. And I said, and there was a time when I used to call you about it, but that doesn't do me any good anymore because honestly, I read about it in the newspaper before I even hear about it. And so it's just like,
So what I'm hearing right now, which was unfortunately my concern, is that, and granted, Chad is of no threat in my mind to anyone. And
Listen,
I've told
let
each
me
of
stop
them.
you for a second there before you do it, real quick. On your behalf, he and I stopped a piece that was about to get mailed called Chad the Crusher Pitfield. That was a brutal motherfucking piece, okay? that went into him killing an autistic child, went into him, and here's why I stopped it. It would have made news that you hired him, and it would hurt you. And that was my message.
And the sheriff.
My message was that, okay?
It would hurt the sheriff too.
The sheriff's not running for anything, and he
No, but
doesn't
I'm
give a
just
fuck
saying.
right now, and he's in great shape, and the sheriff says he basically fired the motherfucker. So,
All right, Chad.
yeah, so, I mean, so the last thing I can tell you is that the sheriff gives a shit, okay?
He's still working.
But I'm making the point that it's like, they didn't have anything to deal with on that.
So my
I mean-
hope was that Chad went and did something rogue. I knew better. But my hope, altruistically, was that it was rogue. It wasn't. So now I've got to reassure or have our friends looking over their shoulder about what's coming, which clearly puts, and then that puts you and I adverse on races that you wouldn't even be involved in anyway. With people, there ain't been a fucking soul. It's not like I said, all right, look, McKinney, we came up with McKinney. We supported Brian Brett. Like, these are all our
I didn't want
candidates.
McKinney. I did not want McKinney. Yeah, I'm the one. I'm being loyal to McKinney. He has to owe me a shitload of money, and I didn't even want the bitch.
So,
That was
I
wrong.
mean, so
Can I say something?
Yeah.
McKinney's given me no problems lately.
Listen, because
Can I just say
probably
that?
because
She's been
Probably because-
she's not even
probably
aggravating lately.
because we've sat
and I tell
down
her too
with-
if she's sitting here. She's been
We've sat
she
down
asks a
with
legitimate
every-
question now.
we've sat
and she's
down
been
with every
she's
single
been
one of
somewhat
our people.
supportive.
and said,
Brennan's great.
and said, we're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to sort this out, and you guys are all going to
You,
be where we.
you told me that, and,
you guys,
and I've told you numerous
every
times
one
that
of
she's
you
been
guys are going
fine.
to be where we want to be, where we want you to be. I
Right.
mean, he and I've done that.
She's been fine.
And I've made it clear. He and I had to take a blood oath with each other and said, here's the idea.
That's it.
Somebody
Look,
goes against what we want to do.
I've told
we
you
tell
this, and I'm telling
we
him
tell
now
you're on
for
your
the first
own.
time.
Including Brian Brennan. If Brian Brennan said tomorrow, I
Brennan,
got
you never heard me bitch about Brennan.
I'm just making this point. Listen what
I'm just telling you that.
Listen here. It's more important you hear this than what's saying. If Brian Brennan came to he and I tomorrow and said, I got to be with Glazer, I would tell him, well, we're going to run someone against you. Dominic could be with me. We're going. We had an agreement. That's it. I mean, it's going to be very business.
And I had that conversation with Danny Rain
It's gonna be very
probably
businesslike.
once a week.
Yeah.
Danny,
So,
run for something else. I can look at it. Run against Brennan. You're on your own.
Right.
I have told. If Danny Rain was in here, he would hear that again. Brennan has been good with me. Look, has there been some little quirks here and there? Yeah, that's fine. We disagree. You know, I'm not worried about that. McKinney was consistently against me. She's been good lately. Brannigan's a whole different story, guys.
I never
And-
slaughtered Brannigan.
No. Neither one of us did. But Brannigan has been a loose cannon, and what's going on there, I have no idea. But I mean, let's talk about what I look at.
Brannigan's-
So I look at George Brannigan, who's fucking with me. Not you. Christy Canella's doing his fundraising now.
yeah. He doesn't
So
tell
it
us-
works. It works
he-
two ways.
he's
With
an-
Dominic's addressing me, with
He's
I'm
another
addressing
one that
you
doesn't
all,
tell- he's another one
not
that does-
him.
Does his own thing, doesn't say anything to us.
Well,
It's unbelievable.
no, but I'm just saying, I have to look at some things too, and I continue to look over my shoulder at some of the people, not Brennan, probably not Christie, but some other people. So Dominic, it works both ways. I mean, look, we might have a different style in politics. We didn't in the beginning, but maybe we do now.
We're in trouble, yeah.
I get it. I mean, look,
If this were not your
well,
election.
you didn't show me
yeah.
this poll before I did
If
some of
this-
those things.
If this was not your election, we let you play for a whole year, 2 years, whatever, we didn't give a shit. But I told you, the second we get into a year inside the election, you gotta become mine at that point. So
Okay.
we can and strategically, we're now 6 months in it, and you're still just doing your own thing. And you're doing it with Deborah, you're doing it with Chad, you're doing it with the IT guy, and everybody knows it. And you're disparaging people like that you got to be careful about, like the leader sell stuff. And you may have all the goods in the world.
I told you that. I told you that.
You may. It doesn't matter. You may have her dead to rights. You can't go and put it in writing out there and do it because you open yourself up to a civil suit from her that goes out there and says it. And then that civil suit opens you up to another deposition. And that deposition is all stuff that can be used in a campaign. And so these guys, they don't care. They've got all the money in the world. It doesn't matter to them. They just want to take you out. They just want to take you out. So, I mean, and it just makes it harder and harder for us to deal with things. And then we got our group, Ricky Template gets in the car with me for 45 minutes and says, look, I'm wherever, I already told Dominic, I told you, wherever you two are, I'm with you no matter what. But what are we doing about Ben? What's going on with Kenna? Oh my God. And everybody's telling me about it. They got problems. And I heard he's under investigation. And I heard this. Because they hear all this shit. And so they're getting nervous. And so we're going, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. And it's like I told Allerton. I said, Bill, when I tell you we're holding everybody in place, there are 2 people for Ben holding everybody in place right now for different reasons. Him, because they're worried about him running against their asses. I mean, the good part he's in is that he doesn't know what the fuck he wants to do yet, which is great. And so he's worried. Got Cynthia worried he might run against her. He's got the at-large candidates worried he might run against them. So I mean that's a great position to be in. And then me because of our reputation, what we've done politically on campaigns. So we're holding all that together, but every time there's a newspaper article, and these guys we're feeding the newspaper articles. We're making them happen. Where we could make it less of an opportunity for it to happen if we just shut up. Or
I'm not feeding fraudies, that's for sure.
Well, so yeah, I get that. But anyway, so and there's obviously more coming on the investigation from the news media, from what I know, because I know they've been calling me about different things, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So,
well, they have to. I mean, I'd just like to know what they have. Greg, we've been through this before. There's nothing there.
Ben, what I've seen on these things over and over again, I told you this, I'm saying to you in front of Dominic, is sometimes they have nothing. It's just,
right.
It's just, listen.
You told me you did the same thing to Yenny.
We lived every single day. I bring up Yenny because he's the closest to you, and you know
right.
him. Is that every day we lived with the idea that we were going to open the newspaper and see something new. A lot of times it never happened.
Right.
But the rumors that were persistent out there, and I do know that the reporters went and chased it. But remember, reporters have to get confirmation from several people, and if they can't get it, they don't do it. So, I mean, that is good on the ones that are responsible. But then look, we kept the Yenny thing under wraps for a year and a month. A year and a month. And finally, David Hammer just said, "Fuck it, I'm going.
Right.
I don't have everything I need.
Right.
But let's just throw it there and see what happens." Because he knew it was a house of cards. He knew the second he did it, everybody would go fucking crazy. And so he did. And he outright lied about the FBI, saying he calls the FBI, he makes a call to them. It's real simple. He goes, "Are y'all investigating Yenny?" "Well, we can't talk about that.
That's all you need. We
never talked about that." "Well, are you saying you're not investigating?" "Well, no, we investigate everything that people bring to us." "Well, such and such said he brought this to y'all, so therefore you must be investigating him. You said it, we didn't say it." Okay, that was his confirmation.
Right.
He went.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was it.
And that's what
really
that's what that article's about.
And so will they do that again? Sure, they'll do it
Right.
again. So anyway, he is with you. Thank God.
I appreciate
he's holding everything where we need to be, but you got to make it easier for us, and we got to go through some things.
What's the Pitfield thing?
It'll be nothing.
What was it?
People looking over their shoulders is what you told me. I've been looking over my shoulder for a long time.
So you were going to put him in a race
coming.
against him?
No.
You were just threatening to put him in a race against him?
I didn't threaten anything.
No.
No, I didn't threaten anything.
We're not just
No, I'm being honest with you. What did it say Pitfield for something?
No, it just said it was
You
a
can't.
running. But what you just wanted to have he could be
Look.
against anybody, therefore it makes everybody worry. Is that the deal?
We're sitting at a table, aren't we, guys? Sometimes you got to get to the table and discuss things. Like I said, your style in politics might be different than mine.
That was good.
It wasn't-
It was a ploy to get me at the table?
That wasn't
No.
good. Us at the table.
For us to talk.
Okay.
For everyone to talk.
So it's a ploy to get me to talk with you?
Yeah,
For
you got-
everyone to talk.
Who's everyone?
Well, this is one of the first conversations. If there's more that need to be had, we'll have more.
That's a bad play.
Yeah, you can't.
Well,
you can't
Dominic,
pretend.
That doesn't work for me.
Okay. It's a discussion.
I haven't played a game with you.
I'm not
I've
playing
come
a
through
game.
the front door, Ben.
and
Every
so,
fucking time.
And so did I. So
How?
did I.
Until-
How?
All right.
By getting somebody to put up a veiled threat to run against.
Are you up for re-election? How's
So
it a
my
veiled
loyalty's
threat?
only to
how's
me?
How's it a threat to you?
To the people that I'm
what's the
busting my ass
loyalty?
to support.
Okay, and look, I have the right to support myself and people
You
off
absolutely
my
do.
ass.
You absolutely do.
I've
But you're
gotta
asking
listen
for
to all
loyalty.
the-
You're asking for loyalty, and yet you're telling me you specifically did something disloyal.
Did not, I never said that. Don't go down that road, Dominic. I did not say you.
I'm already down the road.
Okay, well, you,
Dom,
look,
I mean,
I did not say that.
Ben,
You're saying I said
Ben,
that.
what you say- what you
Some
say-
Well, I'm
discussions need
interpreting
to
it this
When
way.
you saying,
Well, you need to
saying
interpret it a
wanted-
different way,
Ben, when
because
you
that's
saying
not what
you
I
wanted
said.
to get us at the table, it suggested
I
that
said-
you couldn't get us at the
I
table
didn't
by
say-
just picking up the phone and calling.
Okay. I
That's a
said to
bad thing
get
for us. That's not good.
discussions of where everything's going.
All right.
I hear
Right.
things too.
Okay.
I hear that you're against me. I told people, no, he's
Yeah,
with
sure you
me.
could hear Paul.
No, exactly. So I hear that also. Wasn't
you're
to
gonna
get you
keep
to the
hearing that,
table.
so
It was
let's-
to get discussions going.
Okay.
But also an insurance policy for me if there's a war being waged on me by I don't know who. A council? I don't know who George Brannigan is with now when I'm seeing Christy Canella do a fundraiser for him. When y'all know, or not you, when y'all know that he's questioning the trucks.
Well, in
He's
District
lying
4,
about an email.
he's doing
I'm
it
just,
for, say that.
what?
He's right.
No, I know, but I don't,
Couldn't have
but
been against
put
him.
yourself in my position.
Right.
I don't, and this is not directed toward him. I don't know what's going on.
Ben,
So,
you and I had this conversation. I told you that I signed an agreement with George Brannigan, and I let her sign an agreement with George Brannigan, if and only if he was running for District 4. And we were gonna leave him alone and do this thing in District 4.
but then you told me he never
Okay.
sent it back, so I don't know what he
Yeah,
did.
well, I mean, I don't know if he's, he may still never sent it back for all I know.
I'm hearing that he never sent it back to you, but I don't know.
He may not have.
You told me he
but-
hadn't sent it back
but-
too.
But she made sure that the money that was done was only for District 4. That was-
Look, I didn't bitch about it. I just sometimes,
All right,
I need to
but-
do a few things to
but
get some
you-
attention.
You can't be doing that though.
All right.
Well,
That's the thing. From here on forward,
I understand, but everybody else-
You can't, you certainly
Right.
can't.
Then, and here's my challenge. If I'm breaching a confidence with Glazer, I'll apologize to him, but I think I can say it because I think he would be honest about it. His motivation for running is is almost
Singular.
100%, because he is convinced that if you go in without opposition, you are then going to do everything you can to help Mike
Oh,
Secure.
look, Dominic,
Okay.
you don't think I don't know this is all about the fucking chief of police race?
Well, that's fine.
I know what all this
but
is
it's
about.
not just about
Wait, hold
that.
on. I'm under investigation supposedly by the feds because of the chief of police race. I'm not stupid. I know this.
I don't think that's
Before you, Dominic, these games were played with numerous people. Numerous people. I've been doing this shit a lot longer, and I know what people do. So I know what all this is about.
Brother.
This is all about the chief of police race.
Oh,
This
I
ain't
got
about
it.
Ben Zahn.
I got it. Well, no,
I get
it
it.
is. It is
Oh
partially
no!
about
Look,
that.
I've pissed a few
It-
people off. I
it
get
is-
that.
it is-
But it's the chief of police race. Keep Ben busy so he can't do anything.
Well,
I understand
why
that.
should they have to be
No,
worried
but
about that, Ben? But that
I
here's
don't know
but here's
because
the problem.
I'm starting to be
well,
pushed in a
well,
certain
here's the
direction
problem.
now.
Here's the problem. No, you're not starting to be pushed.
No. Oh.
So that's his concern.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as a guy like me can say, man, you ain't got to be worried about that. Then X happens. Then Y happens.
Well,
then
let's talk about X and Y. Here's why. I had an agreement with him,
Glazer.
with Glazer, that said we would stop the public records request. Okay. We had that from right after the first.
And we talked, and I'm waiting for that meeting,
Right,
and then
right.
all of a sudden he announced he's
No,
running
no.
for mayor.
But literally the next day, we had the conversation. The next day, you didn't once say to me anything in that meeting. The next day, your attorney sends a letter to him that is basically an eat shit letter that we're gonna not do anything. So,
I told you that
He
Boudesque,
calls
right, hold
me.
on. I told you that Boudesque sent a shitty letter. I said, I'll get you a copy.
that was the second one. I'm talking
I'm
about the
losing
second-
track, but
hold on a
okay.
second. The first one he sent. The first one started the war.
I told you I had to respond to the Boudesque
The
letter.
second one was Boudesque says, this case, so Glazer looks at me and says, because I said, Mike, we gotta calm down, that's it. Nothing's gonna be a problem, don't worry about it. And then it happens. So Mike says, you can't control him. Nobody can control him. He does what he wants to do, straight up.
Can you say that publicly?
And as a result, he's going to do everything he can to fuck with the police department.
That's not true.
He is convinced in his own mind, at least today, and it's a huge fight in his own household, that you're going to fuck with the police pay because of the, look.
Police pay, such
Police
as...
pay, yeah. Because remember the whole thing that came up with the police pay where it was where Segura found that there was a mistake or something like that was done.
Money was cut out of the budget.
Money was cut out of the budget or whatever like that. Well, they don't think that was a mistake. They
No,
think
Ed
that
Rapier
was-
did it, and we corrected
They
it.
think that was legit.
No,
okay?
it absolutely was cut
They
out by
don't-
Ed Rapier.
They don't trust you.
Well,
as
you know
far as
what?
can throw you.
They don't
They
want to
can-
trust me, Greg.
don't,
I
they
have
don't.
fought for the police every budget.
Okay.
I have asked the council to find a
They
funding
thought
source
they
for
see
police.
they see
That's
you
bullshit.
spending the
Bullshit.
money you're spending on salaries.
That's bullshit.
Okay, I'll tell you that the other piece I stopped from going out was a piece that was going to be put out by your good friends after you pissed off Lee Roussel. They went and hired somebody. I knew the consultant. I stopped it with the consultant and called them personally because they took all your salaries and they took all Yenny's salaries. And they showed how you literally doubled the amount of pay that's in there, which is fucking stupid. And then they went next to it and they went down the line where each person lives, okay, and what they do, and that was fucking stupid. So I'm just telling you.
And that's why George Brannigan had Deborah Fauci's
Yeah, and so when you
voter
look at
registration,
a
but it was a
mail piece,
test.
When you look at a mail piece, he was complying. There's no about.
No, he
But the
lied. He
point
lied
is
publicly.
The point is who
You
gives
just
a
helped me
fuck?
prove that.
The point is who gives a fuck.
No, well, I think somebody's going to give a fuck about that, but he's. I understand what you're saying. This is my race, not your, right. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it.
I don't give a fuck about whether or not who gets to be right or wrong.
Right.
I only give a fuck about do we get to 50+1.
Right. I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
And we got a problem right now to get there.
Right.
I mean, right now it is easier for me right now to beat you than to win.
Right.
And I don't ever like being in that position.
I understand.
You know, I mean, look. You know I'm not walking away from you because I didn't walk away from Paul Johnston,
Look, I
and
get
I
it.
knew he could win.
I get it.
I didn't walk away from
Right, I
Pat
never had
Christian,
it-
and I
The
knew
better
he could
example
win.
is you didn't walk away from Yen.
Well, I didn't walk away from you. You're right.
That's the example.
Right, but the reality of it is that
He did work away from Paul either.
it just doesn't help either of us going down with the sinking ship.
I
So
understand what you're
here's
saying.
what I would say is if we're the Titanic, and we sort of are right now, the fucking Titanic, let's not all of a sudden decide that we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up whatever the
More
hole
issues.
is that lets water come in.
Right.
So can I
I
finish?
get it.
Without interruption? Possible?
Probably not, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna talk through you this time, okay, so.
He does it to you.
I'm pleasant when I'm in this room, it's weird.
But you're in his territory.
So Glazer says this. Then the Pitfield thing occurs, which was clearly perfectly consistent with Glazer's concern. I get this personnel file issue with Conley. Add to it Segura's clarity and absolute conviction that you're balls to the wall with it. Makes it very tough for me to reconcile those and not believe that in fact we're not on the same squad. It's not consistent, Ben. And that's my problem. You know, that's my concern.
I get it. You've chosen to go with Conley. I've chosen to stay out the race. However, I have a councilman who has been very supportive of the administration, doing things what is best for the city of Kenner, and y'all want me to make a choice. And I just don't. I've tried not to make that choice, but I've had to tell Segura at times, I appreciate your support. I look forward to helping you any way I can, but let me get through some of the things that are going on. Just like you didn't like the Pitfield thing, you think I got my jollies on seeing the Glazer thing, or seeing his little pin over the weekend? I mean, Dominic, it works for you, but it doesn't work for me.
There's a difference.
So
I'm not complicit in creating Glazer's pin.
Okay.
You, by your own admission, are complicit and helped Pitfield create this logo thing
But-
that's clearly
But
adverse.
have y'all told Glazer, don't do it? Don't do this? Not you.
Absolutely.
And what has he said?
Unequivocally,
stop?
what he said from day one is that you got to make peace with him and show him you're willing to make peace. And that ain't
And
a meeting.
I-
That's not a meeting with Greg.
Well, that's what he asked for.
But
He
that's
asked,
not
I'm sitting
it.
here and he asked, will you meet with Glazer? I said yes.
It's actions, man. It's actions. And unfortunately, I'm afraid that ship has freaking sailed.
It may
You
have.
know?
It may
But-
have.
But that's a big difference. I'm not complicit in making Glazer a candidate.
No, I get you.
At all.
I get you. I understand.
Jack shit to do with that. And in fact, I can tell you, and I could tell you who was sitting when I said, look, I'm just going to tell you. And this has been my word. I said, I don't know what the poll's going to, I wanted the poll. I'm paying for the fucking thing. Okay? I said, what I think is likely the case, you can ask Mike Quigley, he's heard me say this 5,000 times. I believe Ben is more likely going to be our Kenner's LaToya Cantrell. Everybody in the world says, done, done, done. The polls just don't show it. That's what I was convinced of. I'm not so convinced anymore.
Right, I get you.
Okay? So I've told Glazer that emphatically. I'm like, listen, just because you have issues with him, doesn't mean John Q. Public does.
I
Doesn't
get
mean
you.
the citizen. So, and what I have said, and I've told him this emphatically, and I give you 1,000 witnesses. I said, listen, to me, the chief of police race is what matters more than I've told him this. This is our race. Because all of us are elected officials in Kenner. And this isn't loyalty. This is just practicality. The only thing every elected official in Kenner has been able to brag about, even Capitano could brag about,
Absolutely.
was safe streets.
Absolutely.
We can't fuck this up. So to me, that election is by far the most important thing we got going on. And what I've told Glazer more than anything, forget about loyalty. Because listen, look, he was with me when the sheriff told him, go fuck you. So, I mean, granted, look, and I would tell him this. You were on the streets with me every fucking day, sweating blood with me. Your dad was buried in my fucking shirt. Don't ever think I forget that. Ever. Not for a second. Okay? But yet, I've told him, I said, I'm not doing anything. We're not picking a fight that puts that race in jeopardy. We're not doing because what he needs and what he understands, I think understands, is that his ability to help Keith isn't quite what it otherwise would be if he's now doing this thing. You know?
Can I chime in here?
Huh?
Can I chime in?
In a second.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I was going to wait.
At least he asked to stop in his own headquarters.
The interesting thing about that scenario is, and it's why it's good for you politically, I'm only talking about politically. If you decide you're not running, then do us all a favor and let's figure out who the next person should be. And let's do that the right way. If you're running, then we gotta go and we gotta
Be good.
We gotta go smoke peace pipes with everybody. Okay?
Greg, I told you asked me to let you do it. Dominic doesn't know that part. You asked me to let you do
It's not just about the meetings, it's about not throwing grenades either.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so.
But the grades need to stop coming this way when I'm in a campaign.
All right,
I'm in a campaign and grenade.
okay, so-
Lee Roussel doesn't want to stop. Danny Ream sent it to me this morning. She's got something on Facebook. Okay. I mean,
But, okay, but.
it is what it is.
Okay, again.
No, but it's okay when they do it.
No, again, and this is what I told you before, I know you hate when I say this, but this is where Yenny was a better candidate than you in a sense.
You've told me that.
Is that when Yenny would get pissed off because Benetti and those guys would throw something at him or whatever.
Those people.
Well, that's what it was at the time.
Right.
It was
Right.
Conchita
I
Sully.
got bigger issues
I
than
think Conchita Sully was kind of
Walt
the
Benetti, the
equivalent of
criminal.
Lee Roussel. That he was, always. I would tell him, ignore them. They're
Well,
not. They don't have any base. Don't worry about it. Lee Roussel has no base. Ignore her. Okay.
I am.
All right. Okay.
I'm not.
So anyway, but back to the Glazer issue. If Connolly gets elected, Connolly is on such a level right now with the sheriff and the other chiefs of police that he becomes a dominant force to help us wherever anybody else wants to go. So if you want to go back to his position, or he wants to go somewhere else, we got somebody that's an advocate there. We don't have that with Mike Segura ever. Even if we got Mike Segura elected, not because Mike Segura wouldn't be with us 1,000% and go and do it, but Mike Segura is never going to be able to convince an Arthur Lawson of anything. Mike Segura is never going to be able to convince a Keith Connolly, a Joe Pinto of anything. He just doesn't have the gravitas to do that. He just doesn't. Keith does. Whether they like it or not, Keith knows how to eat. Keith knows how to joke with them and laugh with them and everything and get them, disarm them. And then Keith also knows how to say, no, fuck you. This is what we are, you know? So he's got that. So, I mean, it's the reason, strategically for you to win, there's so many things I think we have to do. We gotta get you no race. Or we gotta get you.
Well,
We gotta get.
left the
Well,
station,
I don't know yet about that. We gotta get you no race with at least no race of substance. Okay. I think Glaze is worried about two things. Glaze is worried about Conley getting elected, and Glaze is worried about his police not getting fucked. Period. Okay. I think.
Let me just get that straight.
Yeah.
Do you two think I'd fuck the Kenner Police Department?
I don't, but I think he thinks you do.
Okay.
Okay.
But he wants to think
Okay.
that. He has.
He does.
Let's go back to the budget.
You want my honest answer?
Let's make some commitments.
I think if somebody pisses you off right now, Ben, I've seen you the last 6 years. If somebody pisses you off, there's nothing you wouldn't do.
I gotta live in the city of Kenner. Why would I want to fuck the
Ben,
police?
honestly, I'm just
No,
telling you.
I know,
I'm
but-
telling you, my read is, if somebody pisses you off, there is nothing you wouldn't do to piss them off back.
Not a
regardless
bad
of the
reputation to have, but I'm not gonna fuck with the police.
No, I think it's a bad reputation,
I
but
mean-
it's not good in the business we're in.
Yeah. You probably had that reputation. You probably had that reputation. If
Oh,
people piss you off, you get back at them.
That's not what I said.
I'm just saying.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said is, if somebody pisses you off, there's nothing you wouldn't do, regardless of the consequences, to go piss them off.
And I think you have that reputation.
I don't think anybody
Oh.
thinks I'm irrational or stupid.
Well, I don't think people think that of me. I think a clique does. I think a clique that's concerned about chief of police here. Getting back to it, that's all about the chief of police
I don't
race
think
here.
anybody thinks
I
you're
will
rational.
not. I have been the one. When Brannigan and
I don't think anybody thinks you're stupid.
not to
I
leave
think
this
people think
room.
you're irrational.
Right.
I think
Not to
people
leave
think
this
you're
room
irrational right now.
because I'm good with McKinney right now.
Right.
When they came to me, McKinney and Brannigan, they wanted to fuck the police on the pay. They wanted to fuck the firemen because I had to listen to McKinney or Brannigan, it's probably Brannigan, say, well, they get one already. Yeah, from the state, asshole. They don't get one from the city of Kenner.
2%.
It's right. It's because the state tells the city of Kenner to do it. I fought all day long as Glazer is blaming me. Glazer has wanted this fucking war for a long time because I'm not one of his fucking drinking buddies. That's fine. I don't give a shit. His lifestyle is completely different from mine. Let's be honest. He is not the family man that I am. So he's pissed off at some other things. He's a lying fuck to think that I'm hurting the police.
Okay.
Show me the budgets that's submitted by the Zahn administration. Answer this question. Ask him this. When did the Zahn administration fuck the police?
Let's solve this.
Please.
It doesn't matter what the answer is.
No, it does.
Again,
It fucking does, Greg.
You're worried about who's right.
Fuck, it's the right thing.
You're worried about who's right.
Okay, I'm the square politician.
I'm worried
Yes,
about
I
winning
am.
the election.
Right, but I'm gonna win
so
it with integrity.
If we have to go...
Fuck, I didn't do it.
Okay, well then this is why we gotta make a decision. Are you running or not?
I'm running.
Here's-
Obviously, I'm fucking running. I'm sitting
Here's
here.
the issue. If we're going to get him out of the race, I think there are two things that we have to make an agreement on. One, I think we gotta say, you're going to absolutely be with Connolly if, and only if
It sounds like a little extortion, but that's okay.
I'm just telling you, I think this is where we gotta be.
I'm just telling you. It sounds. I don't trust where Glazer takes
I'm
that.
telling you what I think you need to do. I think you need to say, I'm not saying this for the good of Connolly, because we're gonna win that race
No,
anyway.
look,
okay?
Conley
With or
is a
without,
friend.
you're
Let's
gonna
leave
win.
Conley
All
out of it.
All right.
Glazer is the issue here,
Listen,
and Caraway.
let's talk about this. Caraway's out off the table. I can't.
But
do
he's
Caraway.
stirring the fucking
He's
pot.
gonna- yeah,
Glazer doesn't take a piss without Caraway telling him to do
Caraway
it.
to go in Glazer's ear is fucking Debbie Fauché in your ear. Okay.
But
All right.
I get it.
So we can't worry about. Let's
Okay,
not worry
all
about.
right,
Let's
all
not
right,
worry
it's-
about the big
it's
players.
Glazer.
Let's not worry about
It's
the big
Glazer.
players. Let's worry about the real players. Mike Glazer wants to make sure that Mike Segura is not in that position. He thinks if you get no race,
It's been clear.
he thinks if you get no race, then you're going to go balls to the wall for him, and that ultimately you're going to go walking, knocking doors for
If I
such and such.
get no
Let's
race,
make an
I want to go on
agreement.
fucking vacation.
Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
But I
And
don't like the way you worded it though.
and
But
let me-
I'm saying it on my own.
No,
If I don't
okay.
get a
All right,
race,
but I'm talking about...
let me ask you a question.
Ben, we're not
Let me
talking- we're not
ask you
talking
a
about the-
question.
We're not talking about
We-
quid pro quos here. What we're talking
It sounds like we are.
Ben, I can't make a quid pro quo for you on something
Well, you're
like
my
this.
PR person.
Well, it doesn't matter. I can't do it.
Let me
Only you can do
let me
it.
make this the safe way. I didn't know you. I just knew that you were the prick that ran Mary Sharon against me in
Right.
2006.
Right.
When it got worked out that she walked away, you looked at me and you asked one thing. You said, "Can you not get involved in the mayor's race?" I said, "I'm going to get lost in District 4." What did I do?
Right.
What did I do? He doesn't
Let me
know
ask
this.
you this.
He doesn't know this. What did I do? Did I keep my word to you?
Yeah.
You didn't ask me do this for that. I don't like the way you shifted it.
I'm telling you.
Said it in the
but
beginning,
this
but
is- I'm telling you, you got to play your politics here.
Hold
I'm
on.
trying to teach you
I'm
how to play your
good.
politics.
I'm good. But I
Let me
mean,
ask
we
you
got to
something.
do it legally, though,
Let me ask you
Greg.
this.
It is
Let me just
legal.
ask you
What I
something.
just said was
Here's
legal.
what I want to know, practically speaking. Why wouldn't? What's the downside of coming out for Conley?
What was the downside for coming out for Martini? You came to me, you were on the council, you were my floor leader, Segure wasn't. You were my friend we made friends very, very quickly, Dominic, very quickly. We knew of each other, but we made friends very quickly. But I was loyal to the councilman. I'm not loyal to anybody yet except Ben Zahn and my staff. Why do I want to go get in that pissing contest with Segure? But he's asking me one thing, you asked me something else.
I'm asking it,
Yeah,
and it is different.
Right.
It is different.
So I'm willing,
asking you,
I'm open.
look, you said you've been doing this 20 some odd years, whatever. I'm asking what the downside is. Like,
This guy who's been, there's a little bit of, going back to the loyalty thing, there's a little bit of loyalty, like I absolutely had to you, that anything that I asked you was a reason, you were like a pit bull, man. You were like all over it. And I saw that and I appreciated that. He has been, look, when it's been stuff he didn't want to do, because he's like, no, I'm not really, I left it alone, okay? But there's somewhat of loyalty to Segure. You know, I've always heard Mike Segure, I'm not saying this, but I've heard Mike Segure as a coward. I have never seen a coward in Mike Segure. This has nothing to do with Keith Conley, okay? I'm not saying he's the better candidate than Keith Conley. But I've never seen that in Mike Segure. And I've seen nothing but loyalty in the guy. If I'm going to take this offer,
You're Mike Segure's friend?
forget that.
I know, but I'm not going to go do.
I'm not even talking that way.
I know, but I'm not going to
you
go
might-
screw the guy at the same time.
So here's a hypothetical. Because you didn't answer. I still don't
Because
know.
I
I still don't know what the downside is.
The loyalty that Segure's
Because
had to
Because
me.
you don't have loyalty to Keith.
The loyalty Segure's had to me. I said, leave Keith out of it. You just brought Keith back in it. I said, leave Keith out of this because Keith and I go back. We've been friends a long time. Our kids have been friends. I don't want to hurt the guy.
Okay. So
That's an avenue not to hurt the guy.
it's your loyalty to Segure. So Segure comes to you after qualifying.
Loyalty Segure broad. We're not talking about chief of police race. We're talking about loyalty Segure broad.
Okay, well, I'm not talking broad. I'm talking very specific,
Well,
because that's what we're talking
That's
about.
what I'm trying to define.
So what I want to know is, qualifying comes, hypothetically, Ben Zahn gets no raise. Or gets
yeah, Almarella.
Donorata.
Right. That's even easier than Almarella.
And Segure says, because I'm convinced, I'm going to tell you, and I could be dead ass wrong. I'm convinced if he believes you will not be with him, there's no way he runs.
Yeah, he's out. He's out.
I'm convinced of that. I am positive,
And you know
with
that.
all certainty.
And you know that too.
See, I don't know, man.
I'm positive.
Then what does he run against Wilmot?
You've told him I
mean,
won't be against you. You
I've
told him you won't
told
be with
him
him.
run
You've
for the
told-
council.
You've told Segure I will not be with you.
I've left it alone with him. I've left it alone. I've just been very.
I don't know if they did this to you in your deposition. If I were taking, I would say, thank you for that response. Now I'd like an answer to my question.
I've never told him anything.
Exactly. So you've never told him I won't be with you.
You left it up at the end.
I've told him either way.
He thinks
That's
if you.
what I'm saying.
Right.
So what you're telling us is that regardless of the concept, regardless of what happens, you will never be with him in the Chiefs race. That's what you've said.
That I will never be with him.
With Segure.
Well, your question has something to do with his question.
No. I'm not.
I know, but I mean,
Is there any
well, it's
scenario?
like
Okay.
Yeah, if you get no race, if you get no race and the race is not.
I'd like to go away.
If you get no.
I'd like to go
forget
away.
about that, you can't.
No.
You
Right.
get no.
I know.
You get
That's,
no
I mean,
race. You got-
it's do this
Because
or you get a
guess what
raise.
you
You gotta make a
No,
decision
that's
right
not
now.
it, Ben.
Bottom line is, you gotta make a decision right now, right here at this table. You gotta make a decision. If you had to do it, today is election day, or today was qualifying day, and the
You're not gonna
media
like
comes-
this answer.
The media comes up to you and they say, Keith Conley, you got no race. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor, you reelected. What's the name? Who you support for police chief? If you're supporting,
That
if
goes
you
back
tell-
to your-
If you tell me right now you're supporting Mike Segura, then we're gonna have Mike Glazer on the race. And I understand it, if that's where you wanna be.
Y'all gonna have Mike Glazer in the race, or are we gonna have to deal with Mike
No,
Glazer
we're
in the
gonna have
race?
to deal with Mike Glazer
Okay,
in the race.
all right.
And I'm just saying, if that's what you wanna do, that's fine, I'm just making the point.
But you don't think that's a little, I mean, he's the attorney, he's got to see it.
He's worried about his police department in his mind.
That's bullshit.
Whether it's right or wrong, and he thinks this guy's
That's-
bad for the police.
But that's a whole different, okay, I thought you were going back with the thing with me.
No, I'm talking about the Segura thing. He thinks this guy's a train wreck for the police. Okay? I didn't get to the part two. Part two, to solve the other problem about whether or not you're gonna strip the police of money down the road, is real simple. Make an agreement right now. You're gonna get, if, in the next term, you're gonna get at least what you get now. And if I negotiate an amazing deal with, what's his name? With Boyd, you're gonna get even a better percentage.
Greg, I have gone to him and given him avenues to get more money. I have gone to him and asked him early on, you need to find a funding source, Mike. Let me help you do it. Can you picture what he would be like as mayor?
Yeah.
Seriously. Seriously.
Yeah.
I
Let me tell you-
can't
let me tell you
because
what
somebody
he'll
else would be running the city. I don't know who.
be.
But.
Yeah, let me tell you what. Here's how he'll be.
Exactly.
Here's how he'll be as
You're
mayor.
right.
Oh, I only
Exactly.
got a few minutes.
I get it.
But
I mean-
here's what I really want to know, and this is
You only
a
got a few
hypothetical.
We
What's
gotta
that?
go
You gotta
someplace.
go somewhere?
Well, we've been
I have
here.
other shit going.
Greg,
on
we've been here since fucking
that
3
actually
o'clock.
fucking pays me.
It's
I was
4:30.
gonna lock us in here
It's
until midnight.
4:30.
We had to. Fucking
Shit.
So, let's say there's no raise. Because here's how it's going to happen.
No raise for me.
No raise for you. Because here's what's going to happen. This is absolutely what's going to happen after qualifying, or sometime between now and March 22nd, I think is the date. Segura comes, Ben. Because look, Segura's in trouble. He's in trouble. He's fucked. He can't win this race.
Can someone show him that?
Well, hold on.
Okay, let's
be
make
honest.
life a little bit easier for
Well,
Ben.
but
I mean, this
listen,
is.
I want to know I really would like. I'm asking you
I
to
mean,
answer.
I'll
I'm
show him
asking
his
you to
phone
I have
number.
asked
I'll
you
show him
to
his phone
help
number.
me
I'll show him
keep
his
him
phone
on
number,
the
but-
council, please.
I'll show him his
Please
phone
keep
number.
him on the council.
But here's what I want. But here's what I want to know. He comes and says, "I need your help. I need you to come out for me."
Who? Segura? After I don't have a raise.
Yeah.
What, are you asking me what I would do?
I'm asking what you would do.
I'd like to know more about this. You're asking me something, Dominic, based on I don't know what they're going to do. Whose word am I going to take except for you two? And I want to be careful with this question.
But that's not the question. The question is your loyalty to Segura. Listen, dude.
I'm loyal to Segura, absolutely.
But that's my point.
On the council,
I'm just asking you to be honest.
I would love
and tell me if you Ben. I would respect. You know, I'll respect law. Fuck, I went with Marion Benora for Christ's sake. I'm all about loyalty.
If I
brother.
don't, if
you
I
say,
don't have
brother,
a race, I'd like to go away. Does that answer
I know,
your question?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, that's the best
because
you
what
can
it
do right
tell
now.
because here's what's going to happen. Segura's going to put the heat on you, hardcore, and he's going to say you said you were loyal to me, Ben.
You should
said
realize.
you'd be with me.
You should realize my loyalty to Segura is, Mike. It's going to be a tough road. You're asking me to do things that's going to be tough, and I got to work with the next chief of police. The next chief of police and I, hopefully, whoever the chief of police is, and if it's Conley, I do truly believe that Conley will be the guy that's in the fucking EOC with me instead of me looking for the fucker in a bar.
So
yeah,
So if we sat down, hypothetically,
who's we?
me, you, him, Segura, Conley,
Okay.
and you said under no circumstances will I support either of you under any circumstances, you'd be willing to do that.
What scenario happens before that?
What does it
Don't
do?
do-
Oh fuck! I mean, it doesn't. It matters to me. It matters to me. I'm
Okay,
tired of
if you have
listening.
no race.
Look,
You
it's
have no
it's
race.
Glazer and Caraway with up Ramelli's ass, spreading the investigation that's not out there.
So if you have no race,
but
so the scenario is you have no
but
race.
who's and again, being very careful with this because it does sound, and you got to admit as an attorney, it sounds a little. It's a little scary where
Wait,
y'all are going.
hang on, you
Not
said
you so
something.
much yet. You've been more careful with your words, but. If I don't have a race because I stay out of a chief of police race, if I stay out of a chief of police race, I don't have a race.
No, I'm literally.
No, I'm not saying you
honestly,
said that.
Ben,
I'm trying to interpret what I'm hearing.
Now, and I understand what you're saying. I'm literally just trying to figure
Well,
out.
what's the benefit to say I have a cheap
is-
police race if everybody's against me?
Yeah. You're not getting this.
No,
You're not getting
I
this.
think
You're
I'm
not
I think
getting
I'm being
this.
very
You're
careful
not
here
getting
not to
this.
commit
You're not
myself
getting this politically.
to something that sounds.
You're not getting this politically.
Look,
There's a
I'm not
candidate-
trying to be.
There's a candidate who wants to run against you, not because he wants the job of mayor, not because he theoretically.
How do you know
has-
this?
Because
I can tell you.
Because he's talked about resigning, even when he was a chief of police, because he just couldn't.
Because he
wait
had
to
a tickler
retire.
on his phone the day he got reelected that
Yeah.
counts down every second until retirement.
I get it.
That-
I get it. But how do y'all know this?
Honestly, Ben, what
Because
you're
I've
doing
known
is
it for 4
confirming for me
years.
exactly what his suspicions
Yeah,
are.
you confirmed it for me
Which
too.
is what?
That you're gonna be with. That you want to be with.
Which is
Segura.
that you're going to
No,
come
no,
out with
no.
Segura.
I want to see where my
Listen.
what am I facing and what am I not
You're not
facing?
making this easy.
If y'all are
for-
asking
you're not
for me to
making-
walk away,
You're not making it easy for the two people who are actually holding this together.
I'm not trying to make it
Okay?
tough for y'all. I'm trying to be very
But you
careful.
Are, but you are. Don't be careful. You don't need to be careful. There's nothing to be careful about. We're not.
Greg,
I can't
Greg,
negotiate.
some motherfucker is spreading out there that I'm under investigation, which is bullshit. So I'm gonna be very careful with everybody.
Ben,
I'm gonna be very
Ben,
careful what happens from
is
this
not
point
what
on.
I promise you, what I am saying to you is not illegal. This is your politics.
Buying a
Listen to what I'm
generator is
saying.
not illegal either.
Listen to-
but according
listen
to you,
to
I'm
what-
under investigation
Listen
for
to
it.
well, and according to the Times Picayune, you are too. So
For a generator?
well, no, for being under investigation, just in general on the what's the name on the garbage
Right.
thing there. Yeah.
And
okay.
and you know that's
All right.
bullshit.
They got two sources. They didn't run with it with nothing. Okay.
But you just told me how easy it is to get a source, and we
I
all know
understand.
that.
So that my point is, they at least got two people that said they
Oh,
were
absolutely.
investigating, that they were.
Shit,
doing
there's a
interviews.
number of disgruntled employees.
All right.
I get it.
All right,
Former
listen,
employees.
Listen to what I'm saying. This is your straight politics. Forget about everybody else in the world but Ben right now. Okay, this is your straight politics.
Okay.
You got the two guys here that are negotiating, that are holding everybody else intact right now for you. We've got one guy in our lane, and the only reason he's in our lane is because he believes that if you get in scot-free, that you will be able to go door to door and influence enough people to possibly get Mike Segura elected. Now, I've sat down with him, okay, and showed him why that can't even be a possibility because of the stuff we have in Segura. He has taken time to go, well, you think that's something? Look at this box over here, and showed me things that he's got on Mike Segura
Yeah,
from
okay.
all the sorts of things
Right.
that were actually more damaging than what I had on Mike Segura.
Okay.
Mike Segura's resignation letter to Nick Kangemi
Right.
may actually not just take him out of the race, may implicate him criminally.
I have no idea what
Okay?
it says.
I'm just going to tell you straight up,
Okay.
point blank. Okay, you can believe me or not believe me. I'm just telling you. I read it and went, "Did you guys bring this to anybody else?" Okay, I'm just making it straight up. Because you know Mike Segura, you know how Mike Segura is. He has a tendency to just say. So Mike Segura is not winning that race in any chance at all. The only reason you would possibly say I'm going to be with Segura is to use it for your own politics. You can't bullshit me on this. You would use it for your own politics to keep everybody else wondering what's going on, to keep everybody else at bay. I'm telling you that's the wrong political move. I'm telling you, nobody's afraid of Mike Segura. So you got to be afraid of somebody to really worry about it. But the only person who happens to be afraid about it, the only idiot who happens to be afraid about it, is the idiot who is the least political person that we've met in our entire life who wants to fucking run against you.
So
And what
why
I'm
would he
saying
want
to
me?
you-
So if that's
what
the
I'm saying
case,
to
why would he
you-
want me on the street for a campaign against him, pushing me into a race that he's worried about? Why would he want that?
Because
That's
he thinks
stupid.
you're so narcissistic, you will only... He doesn't fucking like you, and you don't fucking like him. Who gives a fuck? Today, as of today. Not as of before, as of today.
I'm still-
You're going to tell me right now you want to invite him over for Thanksgiving dinner?
I wouldn't
You
invite him
don't
before
fucking-
this.
Okay, because you don't
So, I
fucking
mean-
like him, and he doesn't fucking like you. Who gives a shit? So the bottom line is that this guy over here, who's the most apolitical player in the world, who's taking advice from his Deborah Foshi, who's the second most apolitical, dumbest motherfucker in the world, over here. And by the way, now I haven't said this to him in a meeting once before, okay? He's saying, y'all are wrong. Y'all can't control Ben. Nobody can control Ben. He's out of control. He does his own thing. He thinks you're irrational. So when you ask the question about if someone thinks you're irrational, yeah, the one guy that we got to change his mind thinks you're irrational.
The comment was stupid and irrational.
Okay, all right. Nobody said you're stupid, but the bottom line is that that's the case, and he's got a whole fucking police force now convinced on it. They literally are convinced on it. I mean, not in small numbers, in decent numbers.
I'm sure.
I just went the other day to shoot pictures with Connolly and have deputies walking up while we're doing it, going, well, yeah, you're not going to be for Zahn, are you, to Connolly? And Connolly said, yeah, actually, Zahn, straight up. Ben and I go back a long way, so that's it. That's what's it.
We do.
And that was the case. And so, I mean, I'm telling you that, so I think it behooves you politically to say to your friend Mike Segura, Mike, it's time for the nut cutting. We're finally here. You're not going to win the race. They've stacked the world against you. Here's when you can do it. Wait for his fundraiser. Because you know what? You know where we are right now in his fundraiser?
I'm sure.
Take a guess where we are, money-wise.
Oh, I'm
Take a guess.
50, 60.
85,000 today.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dan,
So-
you know
all
damn
right.
good well. If you didn't think it could have won, you wouldn't have supported me. We have polling data from day fucking one. That
Dominic,
said
we
the
had a
race was
lot.
on, bro.
Dominic, I gotta tell you as a friend, we had a lot of fucking downs. I mean,
We
you didn't.
did.
You didn't.
But
get,
every
look,
poll
dude,
still showed
you know,
that I was winning.
I remember going to Zia's with you after the Republican
Oh.
endorsement. I had never seen you fucking defeated.
Straight up.
You were fucking defeated. I've never
Plenty
told
of
you this,
downs.
but I'm like, and look, Yenny came over to the table, and we were like, get the fuck away, because and I told you, and it was hard for me to say that, but it was like, you need to get him the fuck away from the table. We don't need Yenny at the table. We got one. You were defeated that night. There was a lot of
Done.
shit. There was a lot of shit
But-
that you got your ass whipped on.
100%.
But look, dude, you know.
You never faltered.
I
You never faltered.
fucking.
You never wavered,
My
man.
family,
You-
everybody. I mean,
That's
we were
not, dude,
fucking.
Go
and
watch my victory speech. that
I
goes
know,
to-
I know. Look, we've been friends a long time.
The
We've been
reality-
friends a short period of time, but it
But
seems
deep-
like a lot.
deep as shit.
Exactly,
I was there the
exactly.
morning of your father's
So,
death.
absolutely.
Okay.
Look,
4 a.m.
Dominic, I have. I
That
have
is
looked.
a relationship that will never be
I
broken.
have looked at your father, and and asking this, I've said, you have something I don't have. I sent you a text message the day after you won and said, appreciate what you got. You know that.
Absolutely.
Y'all still got it. I'm sure you got it.
That being said, I promise you, if before you signed on, I didn't have a shot, you'd have said, brother, don't put me in this position.
You
can't win."
didn't look that good. Not all the polls showed
16,
you.
15 on the first poll. I mean, we look pretty good.
Oh, bullshit. No.
But we had some work to do. Look, we had a lot of mornings at
But
Sheffield
if I
that's
didn't
not there
have a
anymore.
shot, you know damn good well if I didn't have a shot. If I was in
I don't-
Segura's position right now, you'd have fucking looked at me and said, dude, you
I-
can't do this. to
Look,
us."
you know what was hard with the hardest thing with you was losing you.
What he's
Losing
saying-
you off the council.
What his message is.
I don't want to lose Segura. Help me.
So, that's
help
his
me
message.
convince.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what
Okay,
he's saying.
dude,
He's got
I'm-
to know you can't
I'm-
support him for cheap.
His message is.
and then he
is
runs that law.
I'm
you say-
fucking sitting
I'm
here.
telling you now, when
You
you
say-
tell him, I promise you, Ben, as sure as I know how to spell my last name, you look him in the face and said, Mike, I can never be with you for chief. At large, it's a done deal. I promise you.
Yeah, I think, that's my point is, I think you gotta say, Mike, I'm telling you as your friend, it's a mistake. Don't go do it. You're going down.
I've told him that.
And bottom line.
Well, I didn't say you're going down, but I've said, I think it's a mistake, you should stay on the
You haven't
council.
told him you're going down, because I know
I didn't- I
exactly
said-
what
I
you
didn't
told
say-
him.
I didn't
Which
say
you-
that.
Which you told him the entire time, and I've heard it all the time. I've heard it from him, I heard it from other people, is you constantly give him hope. You're like, it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be really tough, it's gonna be hard to do. The other one's way much easier. Why don't you take the easier thing? What's the name? But you're not saying to him, I can't be there.
Well, I think he's
What's
got a
that?
concern right
So,
now, to be honest, that you have a
he's-
contract with Wilmot.
So he's.
I think he's concerned
Yeah,
about
but
that.
Forget about
What?
me. I'm not the
Yeah, but
factor.
that's
in
not-
it.
that's not
The
what
thing
matters,
is
man.
that the thing.
Okay,
is
so
that
hold on,
he's
hold
gonna
on.
be- He's going to go there.
We getting, or the three of us getting to convince to run at large.
I probably. I
The fuck we gonna
I
do?
tear up
That's
the
not-
I tear up the contract. Bill Allerton handles his campaign.
Yeah, but you
and I
see-
do everything behind the scenes.
You gotta be comfortable with that.
I do it all the time. I do it all the time. So that's not.
But it makes me feel good.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking. I mean, no, I've never done it against you because I didn't have to. But I mean, but the campaign.
Can we do
I'm not
this?
really interested
Can we do
in
this?
things.
Can we get Wednesday out the way?
What's Wednesday?
the
No, this is-
$85,000.
Yeah, so he raises, well,
Night.
my point, I was trying to give you strategy here.
No,
He
I'm
goes
trying to
through
help
this
a little
thing-
bit
He goes
with
through
you.
his thing on Wednesday night. We post shit all over the place. He's gonna have hundreds of people there.
No, no,
okay?
absolutely.
You coming?
I don't think
town?
I should. Well, I actually have a civic meeting the same night.
Why? I think you should come. You should say-
No, let's,
Why don't you
hold
say
on.
to- why don't
Let's,
you say the guy
give me
who
the
does it
scenario
every-
without me. Give me the
You
scenario
went to
without me.
Segura's.
I went to Segura's for councilman. It said councilman, Dominic. It did not say chief of
When he
police.
says the chief of police fundraiser and he asks you to come,
Well-
you're not gonna go?
Well, let's get past Wednesday
All right.
night. That's what I'm asking
Okay.
for.
You see, you're playing games.
Come on, dude.
I love you.
Look,
I love you.
I do too. I love you
If
too.
I
but
was
fuck,
deposing you,
I mean,
I'd be grilling your fucking ass
well,
right now.
I know,
because
but
you
this is not a
refuse to answer the question,
This is
which
not
is
a
an answer.
This is not
It
a
is an
deposition.
answer.
This is not a
It's not,
deposition.
but
This
I'm
is
getting
politics.
answers, just not the way
And I
That
get
makes
it,
us feel
but
comfortable as well.
Yeah, that's
well, no.
But anyway, bottom line.
I'm saying let's get through Wednesday. Let's
Okay, well,
let me see what
Wednesday-
y'all's.
Wednesday, she's at 80. She's at
Oh,
85,000 today.
look,
okay?
I get it.
We may break 100. Bottom line is that so you get to say to him, you know what they're going to report from that thing? They're going to report whatever it is, and they got a poll, and the poll doesn't look good for you. Okay. Now, by the way, our poll is consistent with what your friend Nikki Nicolosi and Cindy Torres did too. Okay. So, which didn't look good for him in that one either, apparently.
It's almost the
Okay.
same numbers.
All right, yeah, okay. So that being the point, he's now got confirmation on 2 polls that he's behind in a race against somebody who hasn't been on the ballot in, what, 8 years or whatever? And he's behind on him today. I mean, it's
I get
fucking
it.
crazy, okay?
I understand.
And that's before the 2 guys who are most relevant decide to pile on, because they're going to pile on during the campaign. Glazer, by the way, thinks the same thing you think. He thinks the best thing for him for Conley is that he gets to go door to door with Caraway because he thinks Caraway's so incredibly popular, and that they get to talk about. Yeah, and by the way, we also need, you know, we can't have Zahn and Segura, I mean, together. That's a bad ticket. I mean, you know, we had to fire him for this. We had to do this for such and such. We had to do whatever, you know.
And see,
that's what
and
they
that-
think
and
is the
that's-
deal. All right, okay.
You asked me about Conley. Not that he would do it, but the perception is Conley and Glazer
Conley
together,
doesn't-
as
Conley
Glazer's
doesn't
at the
want
door
this-
with Conley.
Conley
I'm not
doesn't want
saying
this like
Conley.
any-
I'm not
Conley
saying
doesn't want
Conley.
this. Can I tell you-
To be honest,
No.
Conley's been
I-
so
Conley
loyal
sat
to
in-
you. It's
I get
sat in
it.
his chair,
I said.
And the quote, I know, I'm just telling you, he sat in that fucking chair, looked at him and said, what can we do to keep Glazer from getting involved in this thing?
I said from the beginning.
So-
Yeah,
Glazer
he's
complicates
been
it
so
for
loyal
Conley.
to you. It's fucking unbelievable. Okay,
And
that he wants Glazer out the race. He's told Glazer he
I
wants.
hope you see
he
that I'm
keeps telling
trying
Glazer, you're gonna
to-
fuck this up for me. Is what he does. And Glazer's attitude is, Keith, you're wrong. I know more than you do, and I'm telling you right now, the problem I have is
how many races Glazer had?
well, yeah, but here's the problem,
I
Ben.
mean-
What
I
Dominic
don't-
started this
I actually
conversation with.
disagree. I don't think that's what Glazer's saying. I think Glazer's saying I don't give a shit. My commitment to my police department is too strong, and I don't care what the fuck
Well,
it takes, and this is what I think.
I
it
agree with
takes.
that, but I mean, the thing
Yeah.
is that he's going, Glazer's conspiracy theories on you
No, I get it.
play out all the time because of the little things that you do.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And that's the issue that we're running into. So, what I'm saying to you politically is, that happens, you sit down with Segura, you say, it's not gonna
I
happen.
sit down with Segura with you.
With me, I
I
go through
asked
the
for
poll.
that.
I go through the poll, maybe he say it too, I think, he's, listen, we're not,
That's-
we're gonna all be with Connolly. We wanna help you with this, if you wanna go on the other side, here's the best we can do. I think I got a legal issue because I signed the contract with Wilmot to keep him out of running for other things. And then now I think we got a problem with that. Originally when I did it, I kept trying to keep him out of the mayor's race. Now he's looking at that situation, so I don't know what the fuck.
He's looking at the mayor's race?
He looked at the mayor's race because our good friend Stagney was an asshole
Guys.
on that. So, but I wanted a clear field. No matter what, I still want a clear field. You know, I mean, that's my goal, is to get us to a clear field here. And then we hope that Segura takes the right message and does what he needs to do. And then you make another strong message towards the police. Look, the police need this much money. This is what we're going to try to get them in the next budget, if we can. If we can't get them there,
Look, I'd
we'll
rather-
see what happens with Boyd.
I'd rather
We'll
not
give 'em a
wait.
bigger chunk.
Look, I'd rather not be part of what we're discussing here. I don't know why you're not helping me get that message out now, that there's something for the police department. Why
Well, I don't
even
know
make
enough
the
about-
police
I don't
department?
even know enough about it to know.
I
But
gotta
anyway.
pick up
All
wood
right.
now.
But, all right, go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That shouldn't be part of this.
Okay, Okay, but
Helping the police
that
should
whole
be.
thing about
I politically need something to help the police. Leave fucking
Yeah,
Glaze
we're
out
gonna
of
have
it.
to get. Well, I don't know. You have to tell me what it is. If you can figure out what it is, that you can do. I mean. You
A
tell me
fucking
what-
funding source for the police, Greg. I have asked this fucking council, I have asked Glaze to get off his fucking ass and look, you're gonna probably die, and it's probably not the time to do it now, but a parcel fee on the bill for police. He needs to say, I need a parcel fee. Once he says it, I'm gonna say Chief Glaze is 100% correct. But let him say it. Let him say it.
How can you do it without putting it as a tax?
Yes, that's a fucking parcel fee. Look, we gave it, Mike Wetzel, whatever he's fucking doing now, working against me, brought it to Deborah. Deborah looked at it, gave it to Will Vandenbroek. We're still waiting for that motherfucker to call back. I think it was the November of before COVID. He's never done anything with it. It's a parcel fee that's put on your bill to fund police. And if he would, now it's too close to the election for me to say it. I even told him back then, why don't you just say it, Mike? Oh yeah, I'll think about that. Well, he was going to do it. If he says it, I will you can write something that says, I totally support the chief of police on this parcel fee. Fuck him. They're going to, Kenner Police, there's no problem. Who's going to bitch about it? Richard Brown? It's something that needs to be done. That's just one idea.
You have to educate me on it.
Okay, but we will educate you on it. But this is the problem I run into, that we're not, and maybe it's my fault, maybe it's your fault, I don't know, but we're not talking about those things. But Glazer knows. He's got to look in the mirror and say, that motherfucker has supported me on everything. Pull the tape from the last budget. My comments to the council before I started, the budget hearings, before they started, I'm not worried about the other stuff in the budget because it's basically a standstill budget. But you know what, guys? Please find a funding source for first responders. Your Kenner Police need a sole funding source. Fire department has it, but you know what? We should really probably up those mills also. I said it publicly. But the Kenner Police needs something. A charge, something. I didn't say a millage. Something someplace is needed for the Kenner Police. He is a lying motherfucker. And I'll tell him that as a chief of police, not as an opponent. You're a lying motherfucker, Mike. I have fucking supported your police department all the time.
Yeah, look.
He's got a hair up his ass with me. He's never liked me.
He doesn't like you.
You know, I got shitty text messages from him.
You don't particularly like him. It's okay.
I don't like him now. I mean,
I understand.
He's been a prick.
We got between now and January to get through that.
I understand.
And we're about to come up with Thanksgiving and Christmas, and
you're
things
gonna lose
are
some time.
Nobody's going to give a shit.
Right. So
we're going to wake up January 1. He's going to be like, I'm on it. That's it.
But Greg, I have asked you.
You just said something about pins. I don't even know about that.
He put a pin on Facebook, which is I don't give a shit. I have asked you.
Should I show
He's going to get too far in this race, and how's he going to save face?
Yeah. The best way for him to save face is to say, nothing's more important to me than the police. And
Here's my deal, though.
That's why.
With the discussion you and I had privately, probably about 2 weeks ago, those supposedly those problems that are out there for me, which are bullshit, how does that not affect the race then? What makes those problems go away?
Oh, I don't know that anything does.
That's what I'm. So you get me out of one thing.
No, but I mean, I think you gotta take these things one thing at a time. Unfortunately,
but it's bullshit.
They're not all tied together.
No, I know,
even though you think they might be all tied together.
But it's bullshit.
The problem is they all have a universal belief of, look, we don't like Ben, let's go against him. They all have their own reasons for not liking you. So you can't solve everybody's problem with one shot. You got.
No, but I'm just saying that you get me out of the Glazer thing possibly goes away. Okay.
If Glazer goes away and you look like you're about to be elected without opposition.
But the poll doesn't show that.
But first of all, no one else has taken one. That's the good part. Okay. That we know of, at least. We haven't heard of anything. If anybody else had these numbers, trust me, they'd be out. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, all of a sudden, somebody could decide to want to run, and then they could stock up there. But in most cases, here's what they're going to do: they're not going to ask the question the way I asked it. They're not going to ask the question, would you absolutely re-elect Ben Zahn or not re-elect Ben Zahn? Because that tells you hardcore where people are, no matter what.
Right.
They're going to say, do you believe Julie Stokes is good? Do you believe Ben's good? And if it's Julie Stokes versus Ben, what do you think?
No, you were more direct. Right.
Now you're going to win on name recognition.
All right.
Okay?
So But
they're gonna
still,
they're
the
gonna
other
go,
the
"Oh,
other
shit,
issues.
oh shit, he's gonna win.
You-
And oh, by the way, he's got Dominic with him. He's got this
You
with him.
don't control the other issues that are the lies,
No,
the
you can't.
rumors,
You
the
can't. And
deceit
you're not
that's
gonna.
out
The only
there.
thing that. The
So
only
how
thing
does
you
that?
can,
So
the only
you-
thing that you can control on this is you can control your opponent. You can control your field. And you always see me say manage the field. We can manage the field because we know what the issue is. His sensitivity area is police. Let's solve the problem, and we solve the problem with police. Okay. In addition to that, if after you solve the problem on that, he says, "No, I'm still running," well then it's balls to the wall we go. But it makes him go, "Fuck you." We were doing everything we could
I
possibly
want to solve
do,
the police problem,
and then
Greg.
let's
I don't.
go after
I
it.
need a chief of police that has balls to want to solve it, or actually wants. Look, Dominic said it himself. Well, he won't be running the city.
Yeah.
So,
No, of course he won't.
well, how the fuck do I solve it? How do I
Of course
solve
you
a
won't.
police
And
problem?
nobody thinks you're running the city. Nobody thinks you're running the city. Everybody thinks Deborah Foshi's running the city. Nobody fucking, you know that. Come on.
No, I've
You
heard it.
know-
I've heard
You're
it.
not a moron. You
I've
know,
heard it,
you,
but
you are
I'm
smart.
but I am involved
Okay.
in the city. I don't think Glaze is involved in this
But
department.
you are, but she's hired everybody from her past. She's hired everybody. And she's got the whole group in
With
there.
my okay though.
She
I mean,
has,
I
with your
that.
okay, I get it, I understand, I'm glad you rubber stamped it all, but everybody's attitude is that she's the fucking mayor, you're not the mayor. That's what everybody says. Everybody inside politics.
I get it.
We're only talking about the inside politics people
Right.
here now.
Right.
So he.
I just don't see how we get past the other hurdles once
He's gonna be like, and you know what? And by the way, Louis Conjemi did. Louis Conjemi didn't run the city. Your boy Nikki Nicolosi ran the city, and what's her face? The woman Charlotte Burnell. Those two ran the city. They ran the city. Okay. Ed Muniz didn't fucking run the city.
Mike Quigley.
Mike
Quigley
ran
didn't do
the
it.
city. Well,
No, Mike Quigley ran the
Mike
city.
Quigley did a bunch of the
I
little
was
things
there.
and stuff,
I was there.
But they ran the city.
Right.
They didn't do it.
Quigley's the
Yeah.
administrator.
So my point is that was the case. So that's what they think. That's what he thinks.
I know,
is
but
gonna
I'm just
happen.
asking, how do you get past? I don't think Glaze is the hurdle that I have of a public perception of all this bullshit that's out there. And again, it's all
Glazer's-
bullshit.
I'm just trying to get you reelected.
But how do you get me
Glazer-
reelected with the bullshit?
Well, wait, are you telling me you don't know if you want to run?
No. How do you?
I mean, seriously,
no.
just
I want
just
to
the
run.
two of
No,
us
I
right
want to
now.
run. I want to run. Look, the Glazer thing has ignited fire in me even more.
Just you and I are.
I
here
want to
now.
run
Okay.
because of the Glazer
All right,
thing. Because I'm
okay.
pissed off at the
Okay,
Glazer
yeah,
thing.
Glazer's not there. What do you want to do?
I want to run.
No matter what.
I want to run no matter
Okay,
what
good.
because
Thank God.
because
Let's
it's
hear that.
bullshit.
All right,
because
good.
it's bullshit.
All right.
The Ramelli article in the paper is bullshit,
Right.
and I'm tired of the bullshit. And I'm gonna look. I know you don't want to hear this, but that's what I'm gonna start saying. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is total bullshit.
It's
because
okay
I have
for
to be
you-
defiant.
It's okay for you to say that.
Okay,
That's fine.
all right.
It's not okay for you to say it's bullshit. And oh, by the way, he was corrupt, and this one was corrupt, and
I got
that was
you.
corrupt.
I got
and this
you.
was
I got
corrupt.
you.
What's the name? That's not okay.
I got you.
Okay. It's
I just
not-
don't know how you get me
it's-
past the bullshit
And-
once we get rid of, once we solve the Glazer issue. How do you solve that issue? How do you solve the bullshit
Yeah, well, first
investigation?
of all, power has a lot to do with everything, no matter what. So a lot of people are coming against you right now because they think that there's a little bit of blood in the water. Just a
Right,
little bit of
the
blood.
bullshit.
Right.
So how do you get past that?
Not just the blood in the water. The blood in the water is blood in the water that you created in their mind. Some of the mistakes you made, some of the little wars you're at war with a bunch of different people.
Well, I am.
Okay.
Look, I admit it, but they're at war with me. I don't pick the war.
But regardless, the common denominator here is not George Brannigan.
No, I know it's Ben
The
Zahn.
common denominator here is not Mike Glazer. The common denominator is Ben Zahn.
Right.
Mike Glazer. I can't tell you Mike Glazer is at war with 4 of the people,
Right,
but I can tell you Ben Zahn's
No.
at war with 4 of the people.
right.
So
I get it.
So they sense a little bit of blood in the water is basically the issue, and when all of a sudden one of it goes away, they go, whoa, what's happened? What happened there? Holy shit! Why is he not in there anymore?
I
What's going on
understand.
there?
I understand.
So all of a sudden, your muscle goes up a little bit.
Right.
Your political muscle goes up a little bit. You do something where you say, this is what we're going to do for police. Oh shit, police are all behind them now. That muscle goes up a little bit. Wait a second. Connolly it ends up in a situation where he doesn't have Segura there. My muscle goes up a little bit. Segura decides to run against Wilmot. Wilmot decides to drop down, which is probably what happens there. That's what I'm going to recommend. That's something to try to help Segura out. All of a sudden, wait a second. They're putting this all together. You know what?
So the chitter chatter, the
Look what's happening.
bullshit, the bullshit chitter chatter goes away.
They're going, those motherfuckers, they're putting it all together. Those
It's all
motherfuckers.
been a
They've been-
bullshit
they knew
thing
this
about the
from day one.
investigation.
Yeah, and you know what's gonna happen then? Glazer was never running.
But
You know what's gonna happen? Here's what you're gonna hear. You just wanna put Glazer in the race to make everybody, so guess what's the name?
So-
It's gonna be shit that isn't
No.
true. It's gonna be shit that's not true.
so, do you
It
think
happens all the time.
people start saying, "Oh, the investigation's bullshit"?
Ramelli's not gonna say it's bullshit. Ramelli's gonna
Ramelli's
keep
going
it
to
going
become
as much as he possibly.
irrelevant
Right.
pretty soon. I mean,
So-
he's just going to become the
so
guy who continues to
the issue on the
bitch,
Ramelli
continues
thing
to
is you
bitch.
gotta win the civil suit. The civil suit's gonna make a lot of that go away.
I think we're gonna win the
And as
civil
long as
suit.
you win the civil suit, it makes a lot of that go away.
Right, I think we're going to win it.
So, I mean, now the other one though is the other one is the generator, and honestly, I think the reality on the generator is that I think you get your biggest break on the generator is that they found the shit with Sturgeon Water Board. I think they look.
Well, no, the biggest break on the generator is I paid for it.
I know,
I've
I
proven
understand.
that.
But listen, I've said to you the day we talked about it, I said, Ben, the only thing you can be worried about, based on what you're telling me, is that they might try to squeeze you for more information on Muhammad that you may not
I
have.
don't have anything.
Exactly. But they don't
Because I wasn't
believe
involved
that.
in it.
But they don't believe that. They don't believe that, right?
I
Okay.
get it, but I
They
mean,
generally don't believe that.
Right.
Well, now they got Sturgeon Water Board to squeeze. I mean, they got some players over there. They got bigger players. They got real squeeze that they can do now. And it all ties back into IESI.
Right.
And it ties into Muhammad. It's all, you know.
Jesus. Is that where it's coming from? I didn't
No,
realize that.
they got IESI on the tab on it.
Jesus
It's all
Christ.
IESI.
My God,
He's
what a
He's
cesspool.
a deep shot. And
Cesspool.
because that's where James was. So
Right,
it's
oh
a
no,
problem.
absolutely.
So I think you may have dodged that situation there because
Well, I think I've dodged it too.
I shouldn't say dodge it.
No.
Because I know in your mind, you know what you did and you know it was honest. And I get
I
it.
purchased it.
Right. Having said that, to the outside, could if you looked at it from the outside and you didn't really know Ben Zahn and you didn't believe Ben Zahn, you would say, would you not want to at least take a look and wonder about it? Like, did he really get it? Did he not get it? Sure, you'd want to take that look.
Well, to get a
and see
complaint, they
what's
get a
right.
complaint.
And you'd want to go in and you'd want to say, but yeah, it's a fucking generator. I mean, in their offices, I sit there going, how much is generator worth? I don't know, $1,200, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. Oh,
No, it's like
fuck, generator.
$4,000, $5,000.
That's what it is. $4,000.
Right.
You know, seriously, Jesus. Yeah. I mean, how are we gonna get on it? You know, who's gonna care about that shit? We're not talking about. And it didn't even come from the city's money. Oh, fuck. You know. Yeah, but can we go ask them questions? Yeah. Can we make them a little uncomfortable? Yeah. Can we make them wonder about what we're really thinking and what we can we go and who did this? James Muhammad?
Right. Well, absolutely.
Wait, the same James Muhammad that did such and such?
Right.
Yeah. And, can we do that? Sure, we can do that. Absolutely. So that's the whole point of trying to squeeze a little bit for information. That's what that's about, I mean,
I get you. But, look, there's a police graduation tomorrow. I'm going. The biggest
you
issue I
speak at
have...
it?
I don't know. That's a question to Glazer. Not for
If
me.
you get to speak at it, your comment should be this.
He usually, historically, yes.
Your comment should be here's the pledge I can tell you right now. You will always have for me, as mayor, as long as I'm mayor of the city, that I will absolutely commit our very first funding measure, the most important funding measure we will do for this city, every time I do a budget, will be police to make sure you're funded.
Can I say I will continue?
Yeah.
Because I've already
Yeah.
done it.
I'll continue.
I will
Yeah.
continue
Yeah.
to pledge that we will put...
Because the one thing I
Can I say
pride
I've
us
asked
on-
the council for
Yeah,
a funding source for you all?
Do you want to send the Clico and the Lossing today, or is it?
Okay, send the boss thing to him right now. Like, he just wrote me a note. Can you send this to him? And say, take a look at this. I'm thinking about just sending this tomorrow.
Okay, and then for the Clico, why don't we just send you the text from Clico that we did for Commissioner Smeta, and you
Yeah.
can just edit it tonight.
Okay, that'd be
We can send
awesome.
it to Clico.
Thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, Ben. I mean, I think yeah, I agree. So just make that case, because again, you'll make a lot of those people feel good. Look, you know what Jackass is doing now is he's running through the area, and he's such a. I mean, look, I went 2 pictures over there with him and Keith and everybody, and for Keith, and I gotta tell you,
Who's this?
crazy.
Oh.
I gotta tell you, I was I mean, I was joking back and forth with him, going like, by the way, none of these pictures can be used for the mayor's race. You understand that right now, right? I mean, this is not, it's all off the record. What's saying you can't do, kind of thing. But then every time I'd say, I would tell Rick Levy, I'd be like, oh, Jesus, Glazer looks like shit now, and keep that one from me for the mayor's race. So I was doing that to him, because I was just fucking tweaking him, okay, the whole time. But he's kind of a bumbling idiot. I mean, he's just... And he's like talking to other police officers going, hey, I tell you, you don't know.
The substance is hard to find.
Yeah.
So, I can't. Look, I had lunch with some of the staff this afternoon, and I'm like, I could just picture a debate with Glazer. Not that he's a bad guy, but what the fuck does he know about the city of Canada?
The problem you're having debates is like you're never going to debate with the candidate. You get to debate with the audience.
Right, but I'm just saying, how's he gonna... Chief Glazer, what do you do with
a
new development that's coming in the city of Canada?
I don't know how you figured a way to do this. In the fucking city of Canada, which is always a hotbed of problems, you may have figured a way to get more fucking enemies than Yenny. I don't know how the fuck you did it.
No, I did. No, I made changes that weren't popular, right? I mean...
So you're gonna get... So your debate is never gonna be with the candidate, it's gonna be with the audience.
Right.
It's gonna be someone saying... Mr. Mayor, you said such and such, and this is whatever on this day, and then this is what you did. Can you explain why that is? And, it's going to be that kind of shit. That's what's going to happen. And that's why I don't want the fucking races.
I get it. I mean, but...
So...
Get through Wednesday.
I think we'll get through Wednesday.
Show this quote.
Christy's coming to me and going... Christy came to me about 2 weeks ago and said, I've had a terrible year. I need to make some more money. I'm like, shit, what do you? She goes, I'm like down like 20 grand. I'm like, really? She goes, yeah.
Well,
we put the invitation
no fucking
out.
Fundraisers.
We put the invitation out on this thing, and she's like, fuck. I want to make, when this thing's over with, I want to make like 12 grand in this thing, when all said and done.
Yeah.
So
10% of
like,
120.
This is unbelievable, yeah. So she's like, it's never coming easy.
Either he doesn't want to hear it, or he doesn't believe me, which I find odd either way.
Well, you didn't give him a lot of confidence in that you were not playing him either, politically.
Look, let's just be honest. When did he start doing this?
It doesn't matter, but the point is...
Greg. He wants to play lawyer. Look, and he's my friend, you know that.
Matter.
But he wants to play attorney, play fucking politician.
The motherfucker politically, look, you don't even play with the numbers. The motherfucker politically has become a big dog in a short period of time.
He has, because he's got money.
Yeah, so...
But
regardless, doesn't matter how you got there.
I'm not so sure Dominic, I mean, look, I don't know, do you quote Dominic?
Yeah.
I mean, what's his...
He beats you almost 2-1.
You put Dominic up against him?
We asked the question in the thing when all was said and done, which of these people would you consider?
Oh, okay. Not heads up.
No.
Okay.
And when you look at him, and when what's his name extrapolated the numbers on who would on what would happen, he's like, Rigobus was like, Dominic, if you want to run this case, and Dominic, I'm not running fucking man. He goes, first of all, Ben's my friend, I'm not doing it.
And plus he can't afford it.
He's like, I'm not doing that. That's not happening.
Right. It's a full-time job.
But he said, what we were happy to see is that you beat Julie Stokes. We're really happy to see that.
Santani.
We were happy to see you beat Santani. Yeah, I mean, even though I think, Kevin could be a likable guy, people don't see him in that role, right?
You can't get involved in races, so you don't get your name out there.
But Glazer's a competitive race, but you still beat Glazer.
I beat Glazer, but Glazer, look, let's be honest. Glazer's going to walk into some of the endorsements and get them.
Oh, he's going to get the endorsements, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
Because
yeah.
you don't have a voting record, he don't have a decision record.
Right, right.
But the police department runs itself. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Right. My decisions have had to be a lot tougher than Glazer's.
So, I mean, we really almost, if Glazer gets out the race, and we say to Glazer, well, we want you out the race to say, dude, by the way, you couldn't win. Which I think he'll do, because I don't think...
is that going to keep...
Okay.
Is Debbie doing this?
Debbie Villian?
Yeah.
Fucking way.
All right.
Debbie Villian only does it if he says, not even if I say it, only if he says to go run.
So that doesn't happen.
And be aware that was the only time that ever came out of his mouth to me was this. If Ben cannot win the race, before we let Glazer take the seat, we should put Debbie in there.
I get it. I get it.
And I said, if Debbie will do it, I said, listen, if Ben can't win the race, I'm going to tell Ben you can't win the race. But we can win this race. It's just a fucking heavy lift right now. I mean, we just can't take any more baggage on, is it? We're the fucking mule going up the mountain, and we got too much shit on us already.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, so yeah, that was the only conversation we had. But no, fuck, we kind of cleared the field after this. There's really nobody else. Glaze is our problem, and Glaze right now is it's all emotional, and the more it's look. The problem I have with you not going tomorrow night or Wednesday night or whatever.
I don't think that's a good move. Look, I mean,
because if Glaze is there,
I'll give you
Glaze
this.
is gonna be there. Everybody there is gonna be like, oh, you know, Glaze, and then it makes them feel stronger.
You want to show some kind of connection to it. I mean, Christy was supposed to call me back. She texted me and I said, let's talk. Let Blake work the door. Everybody knows Blake's on because she works all the fucking events. I'm willing to do that. That's what I was going to tell her. Look, I'm trying to be neutral here, but I can't control that Blake doesn't work.
I didn't really think about it, but you're right.
That would,
yeah,
at least that's a little bit.
Right.
You asking for an olive branch? I'm trying to give y'all some without putting me in hot water.
Right. Well, and I can make that point to a lot of people too. Well, yeah, I'll point.
Look who's at the door.
Yeah.
And Zahn's at a civic meeting.
Yeah.
For Chateau.
Right. Right. Good point.
She never called me back. Maybe the FBI article, I thought maybe made y'all nervous or something. So I'm like, fuck, maybe they don't want to.
We're not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it because it's not happening. Look, in the deposition's public. In a deposition, he alleged, he said, Matthew Sherman goes, where are you going, Patrick? This is one of the last few questions.
The attorney on their side.
Patrick McGooey.
Don't know who that is.
Patrick McGooey.
Is he from the North Shore?
I don't think so. No, it's some big firm in New Orleans. I might live on the North Shore.
Tells Ross Lagarde on the North Shore.
Who's that?
A good friend of mine.
Okay.
Attorney over there. Heavy hitter on the North Shore. Who says to me, man, I heard your boy, your mayor Ken's got a lot of problems. What are you talking about? I heard that they deposed him. And apparently he pulled Dave Sherman's kid out of the meeting.
I didn't pull him out. He pulled me out.
He pulled Dave Sherman. No.
Matthew Sherman pulled me out.
No.
Oh.
The attorney.
Oh, yeah.
Pulled Dave Sherman's kid out of what's in and said, look, you can do what you want here, but your guy is, we've got him lying now 5 times on the thing. You need to ask this to Sherman.
I will.
As your attorney,
I think you would have told me that.
You got him lying 5 times. You need to stop him from doing it. And he says, Sherman told him, look, man, I know y'all are trying to use this stuff for a campaign, I get it, but, you know, if you can just kind of make sure that when y'all do, if you do use it, just leave my name out of it.
I'll ask him.
Okay.
I'll ask him.
So that's what he tells me. So just say, yeah, Buson heard this from a North Shore attorney.
I'll tell him.
Yeah. I don't care. I'll be happy. Look, he calls me up and be like, I fucking heard it. That's exactly what I heard. I can't tell you if it's true or not, but I'll tell you what I heard.
Right.
I know what I heard was true. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, she asked me that already. I said, let's talk about it. I was going to tell her I'm fine with it because I think it shows some type of neutral position. And look, I would just tell Segura, Mike, she works fucking campaigns with Christy Canella. I can't control what a 23-year-old woman does. Yeah. You know, would I like her just to stay out of all of it? Yeah. But if she works that one, look, she's done work for Mike Segura before. Greg, I can't guarantee you what she's going to do. I don't know what she's going to do. Well, it's a little part-time thing for her.
All I can say to you is that I think if we play the strategy, let's get through Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I think if we play the strategy I'm talking about.
I understand.
Wednesday, then we sit down.
But your key in this, if this is what y'all want to do, I guess Conley just probably walks in at that point. But the key, well, he would.
He's going to get
nobody's going
to.
Yeah. Bullshit. The Hank Politos, God rest his soul out there. I mean, where's I going with this? If this is what happens, obviously Keith just walks in. I'm not so sure I don't not have a race. I know we're not talking about. It's a shame that we're talking about our people.
You don't have a race against Glazer, but let's say you end up with a race against.
That's what I'm wondering.
Julie Stokes, so you end up with a race against.
Well, but Julie Stokes is not right.
But it's going to be somebody like that. Then you got everybody with you. We got everybody with us.
It's all over the Chiefs race.
Yeah.
Nick and Jimmy. Is your, I know,
God bless him, I don't know. I mean,
but
I've
I've had
talked to him 1,000
some,
times. It's
I've
a
had
tough
some
one.
discussions with Nick, and Nick's like, look, I mean, he wants to do it, you know, Mike would be a great chief, and
I'll show the
it's-
poll numbers to Nick.
I think that's, and
just-
nobody,
I don't know if they
nobody
can.
has showed poor
They're gonna-
Signor a poll, or
I think
Nick.
I think I'll show them to him too. But I mean, you know, the message is when you're down, if you're down already in a race that you're not going to have the chief of police with you. Forget about the next chief of police with you, but at least the chief of police with you. I mean, I didn't poll to see who was
And
the
money.
most popular.
And money.
Right, and money. I didn't poll to see who, of these three chiefs of police, who was the most popular. I mean, I guess there's an outside chance that Nick is the most popular, but it'd really be outside. I mean, most people are like, who's the guy right now? Yeah, that's the one that's most popular. And if they forgot who you know, Caraway was by now, they probably forgot who Kajemi was by now. They think it's Louis and he's dead. So, I mean,
I understand.
it's just, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a lot to go on.
Nick is, y'all looking at me, I don't think I'm the key. I think I'm one of the pieces of the puzzle. I think Nick is the key. Mike listens, I can tell you this, Mike listens to Nick and Jimmy.
Yeah,
That's the key. I'm a piece of a puzzle.
I think I convinced Nick when I talked to him that he can't win the race, but
He's got some,
he feels he's got
some loyalty. I mean,
I
look,
get that.
look, Segura is not, unless you got something I don't know of, Segura's not the coward I've heard of. And I told him that not too long ago. I said, Mike, everybody said, and I hate to tell you this, but people say you did this, you did that. They insinuate you were a coward. That's my good friend Jeff.
Interdepartment hearsay.
Right, exactly.
It's not on
I don't,
paper.
I don't
It's not on
see it.
paper.
I don't see it, man. I mean,
It's not on paper. So I'm telling you that what's on paper is what's damaging. That's the problem.
and look, I
his own
get it.
words.
I mean, you know,
Like, I mean, if I was advising him way back, I would have said, absolutely not, don't send that. But, I mean, he, I guess it was in a fit of anger when he left. And he wanted to say, I've been loyal to, I've done things for this department that no policeman should ever do for a department, essentially, right? So he goes through.
but you think
this
Nick
list of
remembers
stuff.
that? See, if you showed some of that, I know you don't want to call your hand, but if you showed some things that you have,
I don't mind, I do it all the time.
Nick,
I
and I know you got to be careful with that because you're the PR person, but look, I didn't know how this was going to go today, to be honest with you, because
You thought he was against you? Or
well,
might be against you?
put yourself in my position. I get a call from Lewis 2 weeks ago. Hey, what you want up in place of Dominic's name? What the fuck are you talking about, Lewis?
Yeah.
Which Lewis shouldn't be involved in. And he goes, on the headquarters. I said, where's Dominic's name going? Oh, he's taking it down. All right.
Dominic didn't talk to you about that?
Dominic says he did. That's not what Dominic talked to me about. Dominic and I talked about moving this shit out because there was mildew on the carpets and we had to have it steam cleaned or put new carpet in. All of a sudden, Dominic made a change. And look, he ripped the shit down and everybody can see inside the fucking headquarters now. And I haven't
He
said
asked me-
anything
he asked
because I'm
me-
still waiting to see what he's going to
He
do.
asked me 6 months ago, maybe almost even a year ago, I mean, it was a long time ago, do you think it's wise, it was after his election, do you think it's wise for Ben and I to have a headquarters that we share? And I said, I never thought it was wise, y'all should do it. And I said, the reason I don't think that's the case is I don't think teaming people up like that is a good idea, because
That's been his choice.
you
not
always
mine.
take on the other one's baggage, you never take on the other one's success. So I said, that's always my case on it.
That's fine. I think it showed strength.
That was my message to him way back, is
But it's kind of like abruptly.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how this was going to go today. Look, if he was going to say, look, he's my attorney for the city right now on a
Right.
case, on the case,
Right.
the biggest fucking case. He's gonna do well.
Right.
I mean, the big fucking case, because he brought me a guy that's getting us some money. Look, Deborah loves this guy, and she's very happy with Dominic. That had nothing to do with it. Okay, Dominic, I mean, you know, but it's true. I stuck with him no matter what. And I'm glad to hear he's sticking, because I really thought
he's
that was
sticking. He
going,
was
well, I mean, pulling the name off the door, I thought abruptly.
No, I can see that. That makes sense. I get it. But I mean, no.
Look, I'll probably let it go after the
That was
election.
never
I don't
the
have
case.
I don't have a need
I mean,
for
look,
it.
we talked to Debbie and I when she called. She said, "This is what the situation is," and whatever. And I said, Deb, look, you got to make your own bed. I get it. I understand. But I said, we are. I'm telling you, Dominic and I are with Ben. She goes, oh no, Dominic's, shared that with me. That's the case, because I knew you were too.
And
but-
she's a contractor for the city.
Yeah. Well, of course, she thinks her contract comes from Glazing.
Use the Pettit example. Ask her who
did.
signs that fucking check.
I did, and she understood that.
But see, I wouldn't let that affect me.
Right.
It's like,
I did.
okay, Debbie, now I'm gonna be honest with you. There's some patching up that needs to happen there because
Yeah.
she
Well-
was kind of fucking shitty. And I think she could have been a lot less shitty, Greg.
She,
When you weren't
there are
there,
three
I was
things,
there.
There are three things I'm gonna say to you about that.
I was there when you weren't there.
Oh, it's no question.
And it's kind of shitty.
She felt like somewhere along the way with the whole Boyd gaming thing, she felt like there was some event that you held and you didn't invite her to. And she got all butthurt about that.
I don't know what she's talking
She
about.
never called you about it, never talked to you about it, never texted you about it, never did anything.
Greg, you
Okay.
handled the Atlantis
Not the
thing.
Not Atlantis, this was before Atlantis, okay?
I don't fucking know what she's talking about.
It was some news conference she held or something like that.
What does she have to fucking do with Boyd Gaming?
She said, because of what she did with the well.
I didn't hold a press conference on Boyd. She's full of shit. Debbie
So-
has looked for excuses.
No, this was before Glazer was even mad.
Right, but she was already pissed off over something. I mean, I
It was, that's what I'm
don't.
saying, I'm telling you that, that's what the case is. Then, the second thing is that when what she thought was taking the case away from her.
She's concocted these
Okay.
stories, Greg. I want to know what
And-
she's talking about. Give me
And
the.
then- and
Can
so
you
now
get the
she-
Boyd?
so now she-
Can you get the
she's
Boyd
like- she was
Gaming
like,
thing?
Why is he targeting me on stuff? So she started taking that point personally against her. I'm telling you.
I thought we were better friends. Pick up the phone and call me. But what?
That's
Can you
exactly-
please find out what Boyd Gaming thing she's fucking talking about?
Well,
I don't even remember doing a press conference with
she,
Boyd Gaming.
But she was, but anyway, so that was the,
She's full of shit.
that was.
Now look, unless she can give me the date and the time, she's full of shit. And look, that's probably not going to go well. 'Cause I'm gonna tell you, you're full of shit, Debbie. I mean, Debbie, you're a state fucking rep. You're full of shit.
And
I mean,
look, and then you get.
and she's never had a race.
This is what I'll say to you too.
I love these people.
Here's the other thing too. Then you get into whether it happens or it doesn't happen, happens right, doesn't happen. You know, like the Rita Bohannon thing, like I talked to you about. I mean,
She should be fine.
she is, but she's fine now. But she wasn't fine that day that they did the ribbon cutting and Maria showed up.
I'm not fine that fucking Rich Brown,
Because-
Stacey Alessandro showed up.
Because our deal with it was
But-
is that Maria takes the mic and it says goes off on her own like this was her idea.
Didn't happen.
So-
But wait, I'm okay with. First of all, it's a public park.
Right.
Second of all, it's not her park. Third of all, Richard Brown and Stacey Alessandro was there, but it's okay, right?
Yeah.
I love this.
They didn't speak. Maria spoke. So if Maria would have just showed up and didn't speak, it'd been a different story. So she was upset.
She is a co-chair of economic
I had a
development.
chance to talk to her about it after and say, like, this was the deal.
Get over it.
And then she was okay. And so,
Get over it.
but you know, I mean, but that's everybody. And I said, look,
God.
Ben's trying to appease a lot of people.
I mean, I need
So-
some friends.
He doesn't. Ben's not thinking. My point was, Ben's not thinking about.
Was she pissed off when I was walking the streets for her?
Ben's not thinking about you when that happens. Ben's thinking about
Me.
oh, how can I get Maria involved? How can I get this one involved? How can I get Joe involved? How can I do something?
How can I save my own
Because
ass?
all that helps him, right?
Right.
So I said, so you got to put yourself in that position.
Right.
Understand that. Now you say it like that, I get it.
Well, yeah, because everybody's
But
pissed off when I do.
Originally, it's the attitude is wait, is he trying to give her credit like she did this, like you know?
Yeah, because I told her what to say.
Yeah.
First of all, I didn't even know her and Sharon Aguilar would come in, the two co-chairs. Mary Sharon has a list for ribbon cuttings, groundbreakings. They're on it. I didn't know they were coming.
Right.
I don't really give a shit. My job is just to show up, give me what I got to say, and I'll say it, and that's it. And of course, they're on the list of people to speak. Sharon Aguilar spoke because she doesn't like Maria. Look, I've been at things where, you know what I don't like, Arita? That your fucking friends, Stacey Alessandro, attacks me at most of the council meetings. Where's Arita Bohannon for that?
Christy Carroll might still be here.
You heard me?
Yep. Honestly.
I mean, that's the response you get. Well, you know what, Rita? Maria won't speak anymore. Are you gonna have a talk with Stacey? Well, I mean, I can't. I don't know. Or the convicted felon? It's fucking. That's the shit that makes me want to say, go fuck this. But whose hands does it wind up in? But that's the kind of shit that it's like, really?
Are we making the commitment to you running no matter what?
Absolutely,
Okay, all right.
absolutely. But
Please don't make me go down this road.
no,
and-
I understand. But
Okay.
don't make me go down the road to make a choice
What does that mean?
with chief of police. I told you back in
You're gonna have to make the
you,
choice
you,
at some point.
well, let me make the choice when he realizes he can't. There is no.
You're gonna have to make the choice.
Yeah, there's
You're
no
not
road
gonna
to
be-
success.
You're
I
not gonna
mean,
be able to be Switzerland on this one.
but
It's not gonna happen.
yeah,
I wish I could tell you could.
I get it, but there's no.
You could say, as mayor of the city, grateful that I got no raise, and I will work with the next chief of police, period, I'm not gonna make an endorsement. You're gonna get the wrath of God from Segura. You're gonna feel like your 2 cents is, feel like shit on it. And you get the wrath of God from Keith saying whatever, and you're gonna feel like shit on it. And you're not gonna make either one of them happy.
No, I got you. I'm open.
And at that point, listen, all you've done now is you figured a way to piss them both off. So politically,
I think
tell you,
there's
that's
a
just stupid.
there's a road to success for you all if you handle this with Segura and Nick and Jimmy
Yeah,
and me. I'm willing to be that. Look, I would look at him and say, Jesus Christ, Mike,
Listen, honestly,
this is bad. Because I would tell him as a friend,
Can
do
I-
the Wilmont thing.
This is what I'm
But
being-
selfishly,
this is what I'm
I'm
being
on,
with you.
keep you on the council.
And this cannot leave this table.
No, I hope this is not leaving this table.
No, it's leave the table. I was telling you, just, I mean, don't tell me this out, like, don't even joke about this, like, 3
I don't want
days
anybody to
down
know
the
this discussion
Okay.
because it sounds like I'm getting ready to fuck my
But-
friend, which I'm not.
but-
I'd like you to be able to show
road.
my friends some stuff.
Campaign-wise, I would like to see Mike run.
Well, yeah, because you get money.
No, forget about the money. I don't give a shit about the money. It really doesn't make a difference. Listen, because
I owe you
because-
$1,300, then I
because
don't have to worry about it.
I can beat the fuck out of him so bad, somebody, and I got campaign stuff I can beat him with.
Yeah, but that's not. He's been supportive, man. I mean,
But I gave him every chance in the world to get out.
Jesus,
gave him every
I
chance to
know,
get out.
but he wants to be the chief, Greg.
So-
This Keith Conley thing came out of left field.
So
We didn't know
anyway,
this was coming.
So I'm just telling you, the bottom line is that, so, and he's gonna get beat. So for me, it's like sport. I'm like, I mean, I don't make much money on the campaigns.
No, I know.
I make my money on all that shit. So it's like sport. I might get a chance to just like, fuck it. Rare do I get a situation where I've got so much to work with
Right.
that I can do this with.
Either
I was
you were
telling-
supposed to get back to me. I don't think I was supposed to get back to you about the Blake thing.
You, I was,
It might have been.
yeah.
It might have been a general
No, you
thing.
said let's
I'm
talk.
fine with it.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I'm fine
Okay.
with it. Some of the discussions we've had today, I'm really fine with
It's
it.
probably a good idea.
But
Okay.
look, here's what I don't
Right.
control, and I want this to be known. I think for what he's trying to do, it probably shows some type of olive branch or some type of neutral position, at least right now. Okay.
Okay.
I can't control a 23-year-old what she goes and does after, because she has done stuff for Segura since you haven't. So that might be a discussion with you and her. I don't want to get involved in that. I'll just tell you, I'm not opposed to what she's doing there. I
Okay.
wouldn't be opposed to her doing the other one. If it's fucking Keith Reno, yeah, no, Christy. And if y'all were doing it, that'd probably be a problem now. But
Yeah,
Keith Conley is not my enemy,
right.
okay? I mean,
Right.
I've made that very clear in this meeting.
Okay.
I'm just in a very uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
Maybe by next week, I won't be,
Yeah.
because I'm hearing, which I figured, which y'all are bringing, it's gonna, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be,
Yeah.
no, look, and I feel sorry for the poor
It's
guy.
gonna be impressive.
No, but he's got a,
I do too.
but look,
I think we all
you
do.
know this, and you could probably help with this. Nick and Jimmy. Nick is not stupid. Nick needs to see a poll. Nick needs to see
Yeah.
money raised at one fucking event.
Yeah. We
25.
actually need to meet with him.
Nick is the key with
I told him,
with ammunition. Y'all can't go in and say he can't win the race. Bullshit. I want to see why he can't
He's
win
getting
it.
beat in the poll. He's getting beat.
Well,
We're gonna raise.
but y'all
we're gonna
haven't
raise
shown that.
a shitload of money at this thing. There's probably how many people do you think will be at this party?
Oh,
Oh, it'll be
close
packed.
to 100.
It'll be packed.
Yeah.
And it's in a house, so it's going to be even
Right.
more.
Right.
Because it's going to be, keep everybody in one room. It looks even worse.
Right.
I mean, crazy situation there.
Is
Yeah.
it inside or outside? I'm not coming.
It's inside.
Y'all asked me to stay out of shit.
Yeah.
I've been trying to stay out of shit. Not so sure
Yeah.
I'm staying out of shit in certain races.
Yeah.
Certain district races. If your new client George Brannigan doesn't straighten his shit out, Look, he's a lying motherfucker, and I told him that in the
Not
parking
very
lot.
bright.
No, well, y'all done a good job of pulling him away from me to make him an island. So, I'm not so sure Maria DeFrancis can't win that fucking race.
Let her run.
She needs a PR person.
Let her run.
Just saying.
But, you know, I mean, listen, all I can say is, I mean, I told him, we've talked for a long time, we've had a good meeting, but we wanted to use the daughter thing, because that gives us a chance
Yeah.
to make the message around that. Listen, by the way,
Yeah,
you do see who's at the door, right?
right,
I told you sitting right here.
yeah.
I'm okay if she does it, but I'm also okay if she does secures. So I don't know. I don't know how that works out. But
Right.
get through tomorrow. Was it tomorrow night or Wednesday night? Get through Wednesday night. Have a meeting with Nick and Jimmy. Segura, I can tell you, has asked me when should I do something. I'm like, dude, I don't know if I'm doing something in December or not. So he's probably not fooling with anything. I'm not saying announcement, but he already announced on a billboard. But I'm not saying anything. He's not saying anything about doing anything right now. So you probably have a month, or at least at least before Thanksgiving, to put some of this to rest with Nick and Jimmy. And I'm not saying that he should get out the race. I'm just saying if that's what
Right.
if y'all have enough to show him and Nick's the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, we're not going to convince Nick, but we might be able to convince,
I don't know, I think
No, I
if
think
you
he's been-
convince Nick, he might not throw in the towel right away.
Here's how you
but
convince Nick.
He's willing to go back to Mike and talk to
If-
he
him.
doesn't like Mike Glazer, Nick.
That's what I'm getting ready to tell you.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Mike Glazer, but I don't think Nick really is excited about having to tell the world that he's not with his son-in-law,
Oh, you mean in a race for mayor?
because he's going to be with me.
Right.
So, but read the other. You know, that makes probably New Year's Day very fucking uncomfortable.
Oh, I think it makes
Okay.
everything.
I mean, right. So I mean, I'm just saying. By the time he actually has to say it, it's
Yeah.
probably between Christmas dinner would be very fucking contentious, right? So if he sees you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
We-
According to him, a lot of things happen if Mike Segura doesn't run and runs against Wilmot. Now that's a decision y'all have to. You got to give me something to go into that fight with. I can't.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna turn it over to. I'm literally gonna turn it over to an attorney
But-
and say what happens here. I don't know what the deal is.
Can you tell that to Segura?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's going to be like, "Hey, dude, what the fuck? I mean, you asked me to get out of a race, and now I have a PR person."
Yeah. I finally got to the point.
You got Stagney to deal with.
I didn't sign it until the friggin' late in the thing because he was so hell bent he was gonna run. But
You got Stagney to deal with, though.
I'm over with that. We made Stagney. We could take.
I get it. I get it. I'm just saying that there's a lot of other. I'm not the only piece. There's
Right.
other pieces. Nick is the
I
key.
think what we do
Now
is
that's
like-
for
like I
y'all.
said, we-
I'm not. Am
I
I
think we-
advocating it selfishly? Absolutely. I've told Mike Segura sitting here and said, "You need to stay on the council for me." The council without Segura and Hayes, and if Brennan gets a fucking race, is miserable for me. Brennan has to run a real fucking race if Danny jumps in. And you can ask Danny Ream what has Ben Zahn tell you about District 5. I'm with Brian Brennan, 100%. Now, if Brian Brennan fucks me and goes with Glazer, I'll switch that real quick. I mean, I don't think he'd do that, though.
Well, your girl Denopolis wants to run for something too. She wants to. I don't
She
think
just
so.
wants to retire.
She ain't running for District 5. That's why she wants to put him on. That's why she wants to support Danny for school board. She's not even in the District 5 race. Look, the day Brian Brennan's finished, Danny Ream's the next District 5 councilman. Our friend Dominic has to accept that. It's over with. He's the next District 5 guy. If he still wants to do it.
Back to Blake. Do you think it's a problem? I didn't realize that she had done stuff for Mike.
She did it not for chief of police. That's a
Oh, okay.
discussion
Well,
with you.
yeah,
He's
okay.
not. He's never said
Well, I
anything for
have
chief of
too.
police. Right. I'm just saying.
Right.
I don't
Okay,
know.
well, then
I don't
I'm
know.
not-
But
no.
look, we might not have to. Christy,
I thought that's
we
what
might
you
not
were
have to.
saying.
We may not have to cross that bridge.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So,
We'll try to.
I would like to use her though to do some running for me. At least, for
I get it.
Wednesday. I mean, I
If
can
she's
do
running-
that,
If she's
right?
running for you, it doesn't make a difference, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, she can
Okay.
run, I mean.
but she's, look, now I don't know if she got to work yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never really, I mentioned that Christy might call her and she says, okay, but I don't know if she's got to work. Maybe she gets somebody to
What
do it.
happens
Or she can at
when you-
least do running for you during the day if she's
Right,
off during the day.
right. That's where
And
I
if she
really
can,
need
if she can
help.
work at nighttime, she can work. Look,
Yeah.
I'm not asking for it. I'm just saying,
Where's she working?
I'm working at Copeland still. I'm still,
But she's making a buttload of money
look,
now.
yo, she's doing well. I
She
mean,
was telling me. I was
and look,
like,
she's still dealing with some of the fire issues.
Waitress?
yeah.
Waitress, bartender, running food to the
Hostess.
car. Not, she's past that.
Oh, okay.
But you graduate.
Oh, okay.
Like being the bartender on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. Yo,
Oh, the money's
I'm
gotta
like,
be
my
just
God,
at the
Blake.
bar.
yes. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 of them. And that's the only ones that get to be bartender. But she was such a great waitress, and she stuck with them during COVID. Because she's like, what do you think I should do during COVID? I'm like, what are you going to do? Sit at home? You can't go to school?
Yeah, right.
I said, run the food, and you might get offered something better. You might get offered manager. I was wrong. You don't want to be a fucking manager. You don't make as much money as the bartender.
Yeah.
There's a girl
Yes.
that's been there for 10 years that says, she said, why aren't you
Why
a manager? She said, fuck, look what you make as bartender. It's incredible. And I'm afraid it's hard to get away from now.
Yeah.
That's why I tried to shift her a little bit toward you,
Yeah.
because that's really what
Yeah.
if she did both, then that's
Right.
fine. Have a
Right.
professional career and have your bartending career.
Right.
Not career, your bartending
Well,
job.
she could make a bunch of money
It-
doing that.
just one- I said,
because
work-
my work is not all the time.
No,
you know?
but the bartending job is consistent.
Right.
Working with you is
It's
elections.
fun.
And that's really why I don't want to see her
Yeah.
make too much of a choice
Yeah.
with this one, because it's
Right
like,
now.
what?
Yeah.
I'm fine if she does it. Maybe things will be different by next week, or at least
Yeah.
before something is said. And then it's my first what you're asking for. Because you know what I could be saying right now? Fuck y'all. No. She ain't doing it.
Right.
I never did say that.
Yeah, what we basically said is we're gonna show a huge amount of money to raise on Wednesday. We're gonna come out of that, we're gonna try to show, sit down with Segura and go over the poll numbers and explain to him why he really shouldn't run for the seat, run for the other seat. And then from there, we might do, if Segura looks like he's gonna move, well, then we'll sit down with Glazer and say, your biggest concern is gone, get out of the race, you shouldn't be in this race. And hopefully we start to get
Well-
back in order.
Yeah.
And like I told you, it's going to draw a real line in the sand. I don't want to do anything against my friend Conley, but if Conley's on the street with Glazer, and then where's that put y'all?
Yeah.
That puts y'all in a very
Well,
fucked up situation.
Conley's gotta be, Glazer's gotta take Conley out. There's no doubt. Glazer's gotta take Conley
But
out.
now Conley looks like he's
Yeah, well,
even though
yeah.
he may not be,
Right.
he will
Yeah.
be. He'll be appearing. So then,
Yep.
this is a total. Glazer's has created a problem.
he said that
I mean,
from
when
the
I saw it,
beginning.
I'm like,
Plus-
well, here, let me just give you this. Here's a good question, and I just asked my legal people. I said, so Brannigan threatened a police report on me. That's cute. So my opponent's cops are going to show up at my door. I mean, I wouldn't want to talk to the sheriff now on things.
Yeah.
What is that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, now it's, no, I'm serious. It's, now Glazer, you have caused a problem for Keith Conley as far as I'm concerned, and you've also created a problem with our working
I think
relationship.
I think Glazer would prevent, I gather from what Glazer's done, the way he's handled you, and the way he's handled some other things, he does seem to look at it and say, the law says this, I'm only doing this.
But now he's
So-
become a politician.
Yeah. So
Now he wants to run not for a law enforcement job.
Yeah.
Now he wants to be the
But
CEO.
I think he wouldn't send the police to you. I don't think he would.
No, I think what he should do is send the sheriff's office to me.
Right.
Turn it over to the
I
sheriff's
agree.
office.
I think
think he
Right.
I think he'd be
goes
I think he'd be.
completely.
And he
above-
should, because I'm going
Right.
to come to you and say,
Right.
I got 2 cops that want to
Right.
talk to me. I need a PR statement that
Yeah.
says
I
my
think he'd
opponent
be-
showed up with 2
I
cops.
think he'd be overly guarded
Yeah, I
about
agree.
it, is my guess on it.
Good.
And listen, I think look, 2 weeks ago, I would have said to you, it's gonna be hard to get him out the race. Now, someone told me he put a button on the thing or whatever.
He put little lapel pins.
Oh, I didn't see him.
I didn't see him either.
The
What do they say?
Benzon started it, right? Oh no, Mike Yenny started it.
What did it say?
Glazer, Kennemeyer.
Now, did he do it, or did
It
somebody
showed up
make it?
on Kenna Happenings.
Oh, somebody made something in.
That's a pretty good fucking pin.
I bet you somebody.
That's a pretty good fucking pin to make. It's okay. Look, Greg, even if he stayed in the race, look, I know you showed me some things, but
I bet you somebody did a pin for him or something. I bet you, yeah. I don't think he's spending money right now. I really don't.
no, I mean, look, I'm sure he has Romelli.
Oh, he's got Romelli. He's absolutely got Romelli.
Right.
Romelli tried to buy me off of you. Period. No matter
Right.
what. Just to see what the deal was. Romelli called Yenny and asked, and Yenny called me, how much does it take Busan to do a third-party campaign against Ben? And I said, it's not doing that.
Romelli's got to do what he's got to do.
I mean,
He's a thug.
yeah, I mean,
Such a
He really
thug.
is. I mean, but yet,
Yeah.
Sydney and I are accused of, and Nikki are accused of being thugs.
well, Nikki,
Unbelievable.
Nikki taking the fifth the whole time.
Oh, that looks so
Oh,
bad.
this one he gave, do you know what happened?
No.
He referred him to this criminal attorney, and that criminal attorney advised Nikki to do that.
To take the fifth on everything?
I haven't had that discussion with him, but I wanted to, it's not my business, but you might want to say, why the fuck does your friend tell Nikki?
What attorney was it?
Some black female criminal attorney. I had to get Nikki told me a while back, but I've got to talk to Nikki today, and I said, Nikki, have you talked to Dominic about that?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he don't handle criminal law, but
I
still,
would
he
have run
knows.
it by him, yeah.
But taking the fifth is
On everything.
almost,
Yeah.
just like he was saying, I'm not answering his questions in a deposition, which I was not in. But, I mean, you would think that he would be able to answer some things. He
Right.
did answer some, but, you know, I mean,
But
I
like
think...
in the newspaper, I only read one in the newspaper.
Right.
And it was things like,
Yeah, a
they
couple
asked
of
him a
things.
couple of things like, you know, like if I asked you where you went to school, you ought to take the fifth. Or, you know, some kind
Yeah.
of,
Right, it's stupid
like,
stuff.
why would you not, yeah.
But look, I'm not questioning what he did, but he referred her. I mean, I think I would have checked with Dominic. Dominic, this attorney you
Yeah.
referred me to that I don't know anything about is saying take the fifth before I go into his deposition. What do you think?
Yeah, right.
I think he'd have said, no. I mean, look, I know some of the questions I was asked, such as, did you take money from Cindy Torres? No.
Right,
It's a simple fucking no.
Right.
right.
You know?
Right.
Was he asked that question? I would assume the questions of, I think, Segura was asked the same question. No.
Right.
It's a simple answer. I didn't do it.
Right.
You know?
Right, that'd be the easiest thing to say, right? Yeah, did you get any benefit? Did you get anything? No, you didn't get anything.
No.
But,
They showed me videos of me, Sydney, and Nikki's in the video at Tony Leggie's house, at Bridget Roy's house. I was able to tell them where I was when they showed it. Why is Nicolosi in the video? I don't know. Did I take the video? Well, Kenneth TV did. Okay. Did I get in the same truck with Nikki Nicolosi? And he go, no. Oh, I don't. Did you ask Nikki Nicolosi? He took the fifth. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you then. What was Nikki Nicolosi doing there? He was no longer working for Romelli. He was consulting, I guess, for him or me for free. Was he being paid by IV? I have no idea.
right.
Did you ask Nikki Nicolosi? I mean,
I'd be surprised.
how do you want those answers from me?
would
I don't
be-
have those answers.
Well, they tried it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
trick
But,
you.
you know,
They're just trying to, yeah.
10 o'clock to literally, I think, 4 o'clock.
Is that what it
With 45-minute break.
Wow.
Okay, 30 minutes
Great.
for lunch, 2 pee breaks.
I'd be shocked if
And all bullshit.
Sydney
Yeah.
gave him any kind of money in any way, shape, or form.
I don't
I'd be
think,
shocked.
according to, well,
And-
Sydney's never been
Yeah.
deposed,
And
but
the
according to
reason
Sydney,
I'd be
no.
shocked is because even if Sydney wanted to do it, I don't think Litchfield would have let him.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's no reason to give him any money. I mean, he never really, to me, he was volunteering the time. He was a
Right.
consultant that had worked with garbage. He's volunteering his time to the city of Kenner. He wasn't on my payroll. I don't think he's on Sydney's payroll.
Right.
Sydney has said no, so it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
All right, well, I'll
All
reach
right.
out to Blakey.
You walk around.
Yeah. Oh, this is terrible. I looked at the time, I'm like, what is it, 8 o'clock? And I realized, no, it's gonna go off.
Yeah, it'll go off by itself.
All right.
They apparently did it a long time ago. Helped the farmers out, you know, so,
Yeah.
and then the whole